Maggots.
Stop it. You know what? I will say.
Here's the maggot art.
I will say
No.
the actually finding out what painting with maggots meant was really funny.
Yeah, I was same.
Okay. Oh, I had to mute the stream. The echo.
Yeah,
Oh,
Mads,
God.
it's the maggots.
Oh God, Mads had to hear that. The horror.
I didn't do it. But my good friend Armor told me about the maggot painting at UC Davis's picnic day and sent me pictures of the artwork he made. Excellent. Did he make it? I guess the maggots technically made it, but yeah.
Yeah, right. How much of this can we credit to to the artist, and how much can we credit to the maggot?
Yeah. Mads, you apparently you dip a maggot in paint and then drop it on a piece of paper, and as a result, it does the painting. I have been informed that the paint is non-toxic to the maggots. Thank God. So they're all right.
No maggots were harmed in the creation of this painting.
Well, I'm relieved that this is how it was done.
Yeah, right? It's not quite as bad as it could have been.
Yeah. I thought some maggot juices were going to be used.
Okay. All right. It's like elephant and gravity paintings. Yeah, right. It's like handing an elephant a paintbrush, handing a chimp a paintbrush. Like, do they own the painting creatively? Should we be fighting for rights for maggots? I
think this
don't
is-
know.
Wait, do you just let the maggots go on just walk along?
Yeah. Wait, do maggots
Okay.
walk?
Or
They
crawl,
they
whatever?
crawl.
Yeah, I don't know. Inch, roll.
You don't even pick up the maggots and smear them?
I want to be clear. I didn't get to do this. I was
Get to?
They don't let
No.
me paint with the maggots.
Steven and I were
You riot.
Steven and I tragically were busy watching the parade like normal people.
Oh my goodness.
Armor was like, I got to paint with maggots. I was like, oh God. But
I tell you, people from UC Davis kind of freaky though.
in conclusion, it was really fun, and I was so tired. I came home and passed out and slept through like an hour of Ace Attorney stream as a result. Woke up at 9 p.m. like, good morning. Then went back to sleep. Got like 7 hours last night, and I'm still dead.
You know what? I feel like as I've gotten older, my body has started to require more sleep.
Yeah, that I was told the opposite would happen.
I was also told the opposite would happen, but here I am at 25 and 4/12, and I am literally like, oh, I only slept for 8 hours a day? No, I'm going to give you a headache. You're sleepy. I'm like, that's not okay. But my body is like, you have to have 10 to 11. And I'm like, that's not reasonable.
You're right. My mom was full of shit. I can't believe this. Oh,
I think probably what it is that there's like a bell curve or something, right? Like you require the most sleep at in your mid to late 20s and early 30s, and then after that you start to require less sleep.
Mhm.
So there's that, I suppose. Hey, my order from the sandwich place has been picked up. Pog Champ.
let's go.
Oh boy.
Yeah, we'll
Right.
immediately
Nice pasta.
interrupt our thing, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. Good timing. Good
Good timing.
Well
Good timing.
planned.
All right.
You wanted us to eat lunch at 10 a.m.
Yes.
Too bad.
I didn't even
Make
wake
it
up until like
brunch.
10:15. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
Josh
mean, listen,
wasn't awake then.
listen,
Wow.
I'm not like that big of a breakfast foods person. At least during breakfast. I don't know why. So this is an American breakfast that just like doesn't sit right. I think it's because I don't like do physical activity. I feel like an American breakfast is meant for like a lumberjack, right? You're exerting so much fucking energy. You need all the goddamn eggs and bacon and potatoes you can get.
No, eggs and bacon is just delicious.
No, I agree that they're delicious, but I feel like, you know what? I think it's just because I think my body is bad. I think my body is breaking down. Right?
My body is bad.
My body is broken. Because like American breakfast made for farmers. Yeah, right. Exactly. Like the thing is that it's delicious. Don't get me wrong. I love bacon. You know, I love pork products. I love cheese and hash browns and stuff. But I swear to God, if I eat like an American breakfast, I go back to sleep immediately. It knocks me out. It's like a soporific.
There's a lot of fat in there.
Yeah, I just feel so heavy, and I think it didn't always used to be this way for me.
You've already got your fat load for the winter, so you can hibernate.
Exactly. I can hibernate. I think it's probably just like as I've gotten older and learned that other people don't like other cultures don't eat breakfasts this intense. That my body's like, hey, I want what they're having. Like some rice, miso soup, and some fish. That sounds pretty great. Like that sounds like a good breakfast. Meanwhile, America's like, I fucked a hash brown. Anyway. You can tell it's I didn't wake up that long ago. My voice is still kind of scratchy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, are we ready to start Rangers?
No,
Okay.
I'm never going to be. So you might as well start.
Okay.
I always open every time with basically us laying down our bona fides of how much we've played each class. So,
I don't think
how much Rangers have you guys played? Lay out your qualifications for why you're qualified to talk about Rangers. What Rangers have you played?
I have made a Ranger. I have never played a Ranger.
I have never made or played a Ranger.
I have never played a Ranger. I don't know if I've ever made one.
We're so qualified to talk about this.
We're so qualified for this.
This is going to go really well.
Okay, all right. Here's my qualifications. I've seen Rangers be played. I've been at the same table as a Ranger.
Who was it? Maybe we can get them on here.
It's Cooper. He lives in Denver now.
Ah, Cooper.
Okay. So Rangers did receive some buffs. Like the base classes received some buffs in I think it was in Tasha's that they received buffs. But anyway, so they might be better now. I don't actually know.
The good thing is we only have to compare subclasses. We don't actually have to worry about the base class.
Right, exactly. The base class is pretty irrelevant, honestly.
And the subclasses didn't change. The base class changed.
Well, actually, some of the subclasses did change. They changed Beastmaster.
Really?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
buffed Beastmaster.
Because it was
really
absolute
shit tier.
Okay.
So for the sake of clarity, we will be going with the current version of whatever, right? Whatever the latest iteration is the one we'll be ranking. And they might be optional feats or whatever, but like they're buffs. Like they realized that Rangers were weak as shit.
Yeah.
I will say, favorite foe is probably better than favorite enemy. Favorite enemy was always, it was weird. It's always kind of one of those weird things. It's like, here's my racism ability. The power of racism fuels me.
Oh God.
Yeah, Rangers is weird.
At least you could depict it as like, you're just specialized. It makes it a lot less racist when it feels a lot less bad when it's like, I specialize in hunting wolves. But then people are like, no, I specialize in hunting sapient people. Like,
right, it's like you can choose a type of
orcs.
favorite enemy, and it's like oozes or plants. Okay, that's pretty cool. That makes sense, right? Aberrations. Yeah, okay, I guess I can see that. Beasts. All right. Celestials. What? Sorry.
That one's weird.
Constructs. I'm sure dragons. I mean, honestly, dragons are sentient creatures, but like I get it.
Yeah.
They're kind of dicks. Elementals. All right. Okay. All right. Fae. Okay. Fiends. All right. Giants. Okay. All right. Dwarves hate giants.
Dwarf giants.
monstrosities.
The dwarves are racist against giants, but then
Yeah.
again, the giants are racist against dwarves.
Undead, and you're like, okay, yeah. But then like there's this part of favorite enemy where you can select 2 races of humanoid as
Well,
favorite
that part-
enemies. It's like not only do you get to choose people, you get to choose 2 kinds of people.
I really
God.
that's the one. Everything else, honestly,
I
is
was-
fine.
As you were listing us off, I'm like, oh, this isn't as bad as I remembered. And then that last sentence, I was like, oh, that's
You're like,
the reason-
oh
The reason
no.
why it's bad is like if it said or you could choose humanoid, that's fine. If it's but like you just specialize in hunting humanoid type enemies. But if you specialize in a very specific kind of humanoid, that's weird.
It's a very specific kind of humanoid, and it's like
Yeah.
you get to choose 2 of them. Yeah, hating one
Yeah.
wasn't enough. There's too much racism to fuel just one.
And like someone helping someone make a Granger. All right, I guess I'll choose like I don't know elves. I guess I don't like elves. I guess
Right, it's
more.
like, okay,
Oh,
I'm
man,
gonna
I have to hate more people. Who else do I don't like?
right, exactly. It's like, can you imagine? I want the like version of this where it's just like my favorite enemy is humans and only humans.
I mean, people most likely do it because that's
The
part
greatest
that's strictly
prey
op-
of
that's the-
all, man.
That's the optimal thing to do because humans are usually the most common.
Yeah, humans are fucking everywhere. Also, they're all awful. So, you know, you can kill them with impunity, etc., etc. All right. Should we talk about Beastmaster?
okay.
Okay. So
This is going to be impossible. Oh, and to be clear, we have before we start, we have a pretty hard cutoff because Josh's parents are coming.
yeah,
for
so
dinner.
we're gonna at about 3 p.m. or like halfway through the list, we'll assess where we are. So
2 p.m.
here it 2 p.m. Yes. So here is the way that that Beastmaster companion used to work, which is that you get a you should choose a beast that is no larger than medium and has a challenge rating of 1/4 or lower, and you add your proficiency bonus to attack rolls, damage rolls, AC, as well as any saving throws and skills, which is fine. It has a buff to hit points equal to normal maximum or 4 times the ranger level, which is whatever. The beast can spend hit dice, but like it's a challenge rating 1/4 or lower creature. So even if you're adding your proficiency bonus to it, it's not doing that much. And like on top of that, like you have to spend attacks from your extra attack to attack with it, and at a certain point, like it's just not going to be worth doing it because it's a challenge rating 1/4 creature.
Is it still spent? You have to sacrifice an attack to make it attack. Or did they
So
change that?
we'll get into the optional. I say optional. This is the one you should be using. Primal Companion, which is what replaces the Beastmaster feats.
Oh, that's how they do it. Yeah, I was.
It's a favorite enemy, not the system you hate. Elves are great people, but I just love killing them. You know what? You have a point there. You could be you could be fucking obsessed, right? Be like, I love elves.
Or it's just
I
like,
like
yeah, no, I have nothing wrong with elves. It's just I know they're all their weaknesses.
Right, exactly. Right, you can just kind of a fucking freak. So, all right, let's talk about Primal Companion, which is the actual 3rd level ability of Beastmaster. You magically summon a primal beast, which is already better because you don't have to fucking contract an animal. You might not be able to contract an animal. It's probably going to die in combat, whatever.
I like that bit, though. It's so...
It's kind of funny, isn't it? The beast is friendly to you and your companions and obeys your commands. Choose its stat block, Beast of the Land, Beast of the Sea, or Beast of the Sky, which uses your proficiency bonus in several places. You can determine the kind of animal the beast is, choosing a kind appropriate for the stat block. Whatever you choose, the beast bears primal markings indicating its mystical origin. So instead of, like, choosing an animal of a 1/4 challenge rating or lower, you just choose an archetype, and that's the one you get to use. In combat, yes.
No, yeah, go ahead.
In combat, the beast acts during your turn. It can move and use its reactions on its own, but the only action it takes is the dodge action. Unless you take a bonus action on your turn to command it to take another action. The action can be one in its stat block or some other action. You can sacrifice one of your attacks when you take the attack action to command the beast to take the attack action. If you are incapacitated, the beast can take any action of its choice, not just dodge. So this is interesting and better because you can use your bonus action to have it make an attack, or you can use one of your attacks to make it take the attack action.
So you can use a bonus action to make it take one attack.
Mm-hmm.
But if it has multi-attack, that still has only one attack, and then you could sacrifice one of your attacks to also make it take the attack action.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
So you So it could feasibly, if it had like multi attack, it could attack 3 times in a turn, and you attack 1 time in a turn.
I don't believe any of these have multi-attack.
But at 11th level, your beast companion gets 2 attacks for its attack action.
Thank you. Okay, that's the bit. But even so, even if before then, the point of that is I suspect you can do both, right? If you really want your beast companion to hit, you sacrifice one of your attacks. It takes the attack action, and then you bonus action make them attack again. Is that a correct reading? You think, or no?
So I don't know, because it still has to use the beast's attack. So I think it's just your choice. I think it's just a flexibility thing.
Weird.
Because even if you commanded it to make an attack and then take the attack action, a beast only has 1 attack on its turn.
If it takes the attack action, but I think I was where's the bit? Yeah. I'm willing to go with what you're saying, mostly because I can't find where it is.
The action can be one in the stack block or some other action. You can also sacrifice one of your attacks when you take the attack action to command the beast to take the attack action. If you are incapacitated, the beast can take any action of its choice, not just dodge. This is always my favorite part of companion blocks, where they're just like, it is under your command until you fall unconscious, and then it can do whatever the fuck it wants. I'm free. If the beast has died within the last hour, you can use your action to touch it and expend a spell slot of 1st level or higher. The beast returns to life after 1 minute with all its hit points restored. When you finish a long rest, you can summon a different primal beast. The new beast appears in an occupied space within 5 feet of you. You can choose its stat block and appearance, etc., etc. If you already have a beast, it vanishes when the new beast appears. The beast also vanishes if you die. So all that just kind of is quality of life stuff. It means that you don't have to fucking contract a beast every fucking fight. You can just be like, okay, spell slot after 1 minute, it's back. And honestly, if you're crunched for time, it's not a bad value proposition.
It's also just a sack of hit points, which is always nice.
Yeah, we got to look at these stat blocks.
Yeah. So the
stat blocks are very basically the water one is hilarious. It has 5 foot of movement speed.
Oh my god, you're right.
Water.
But it has a swim feet of 60 feet, so it's not meant to be above water.
The water one and the air one are utility, and if you want one that's actually the beefiest and the strongest one is the melee one, the ground one. It has the most health and the most damage.
Doesn't the water one have the same amount of health?
Yes.
Sure, but when are you
But it has 5 feet of movement above water, so you're not really using it, right?
The best part.
Actually, no joke though.
Doesn't have as much damage
because the water one has a binding attack. It's like a grapple. You could just set it up like a turret.
Oh my god! It's just a crab. It's a crab.
Yes.
Okay. So
mud crab.
Beast of the Land has 13 plus your proficiency bonus armor class at level 5, which is 5 to 7, and it's plus 3, so it's 16 armor class. Pretty good, honestly, better than some of your teammates probably. HP is 5 plus 5 times your ranger level, which is at level 5 going to be 30 hit points, which is I believe let's see. Equals the normal maximum or 4 times your ranger level. So this, I think it's about comparable with the amount of HP that you would be getting with the other companion, but also
it's fairly tanky. 15 at 3rd level. This thing has 20 health and 15 armor.
Yeah, this is a party member, right? You're actually a party member. It has dark vision of 60 feet, which is kind of nice. It has the charge feature, which is if it moves at least 20 feet in a straight line towards a target and then hits it with a maul attack on the same turn, the target takes an extra 1d6 slashing damage. If the target is a creature, it must succeed on a strength save against your spell save DC or be knocked prone. That's nice. I like that it's based on your strength save DC. Not your strength save, your spell save DC. Because as a ranger, ideally you'll probably want to be dumping some points into that. The nice thing about rangers, obviously, is that because they are primarily dex focused characters, you're gonna be using ranged weapons usually. You don't have to invest in strength at all, so you have a lot of leeway to put your points into wisdom.
So all you need is wisdom, dex, and con.
Yeah, pretty much. Maul. I mean, every character needs con though. Is the thing.
Yeah,
Like, it's
yeah.
like it's almost not fair to say.
I was going to point out that this class, this ranger is more mad than other rangers because of this spell attack modifier to hit on their
I guess so.
pets.
Yeah. I mean, if you wanted to build for spells, but I feel like in general, I think rangers actually should be building more towards like spells, and spell utility. Just because like.
No, but all their spells don't require wisdom.
Oh, I guess that's true. Actually, you're right.
Oh,
You're right.
really?
No, you're right.
Shit
You're
like
right.
Hunter's Mark, like who the fuck cares what your wisdom is?
No, you're actually completely correct.
Most of their stuff is utility, which doesn't care what wisdom is. So this is a ranger that actually does need it to bump its wisdom.
Does need
up.
spell attack modifier because it requires your spell attack modifier to hit, and then it does damage equal to 1d8 plus 2 plus your proficiency bonus slashing damage, which is like 1d8 plus 5 at 5th level, and that's not bad, right? Like that's like
No, it's not
like
bad,
a 4th
yeah.
level character.
At 7th level, you'll be basically attacking once and then having your beast attack 3 times, I think. So wisdoms will be more important than dex.
Yeah.
on
I mean,
this.
honestly, I don't even think that's a bad thing because, like, at the end of the day, if you would be building towards like a melee ranger anyway, it kind of feels like
Melee
it kind
ranger?
of not a melee, like a physical based ranger. It kind of feels like it takes a lot more investment to even reach the level of like a fighter, right? You're just a worse fighter.
Possibly, yeah.
I feel like you almost have to branch into the magic stuff if you want to like get value out of your class features.
It's true. It's just something to keep in mind that you're not going to be getting a stat to 20, maybe. You're going to be getting a few stats
Like a lot
to
of
16.
stuff, yeah, just like 16, 18, yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's not actually that terrible of an idea. Just because it's like it can kind of take the place of your primary like damage, which I think is like interesting and also kind of like what people want out of a beast master class, you know? I feel like you want to be getting a lot of like value out of your pet.
Oh yeah, and this is actually quite a lot of value. This might be even strong if we look at the math on it. I'm not sure.
Probably. So Beast of the Sea has a binding strike, which is 1d. Let's see, spell attack modifier to hit, 1d6 plus 2 plus piercing. Piercing or bludgeoning damage, your choice, so you can choose crabs or octopi, I guess. And the target is grappled. Escape DC equals your spell save DC. Until this grapple ends, the beast can't use this attack on another target, but it can use it on the same target. So,
Slightly less damage, but you can potentially.
but you can grapple, which has its uses and might be useful under the water where you'll be using this. And then the other beast, other primal companion is the Beast of the Sky, which has 4 times your ranger level plus 4 HP, so slightly less, but it can fly, which flying is really good, and it does 1d4 plus 3 plus proficiency bonus slashing damage. That's honestly like it because it has the +1. The die reduction like really almost doesn't matter.
And importantly, probably the reason why you might end up only using Beast of the Sky is because it has flyby.
It has flyby, yeah.
Which means your beast won't just fucking die. Your beast will almost never die because it has flyby.
They have to specifically target your beast while it's in the air, most likely.
Yeah.
In order to attack it.
And probably make disadvantaged ranged attacks because you're probably someone else is going to be in melee range of them.
Yeah, exactly. So it's good utility. Ooh.
And who's going to fireball the air and not hit any of the rest of you guys? Like this Beast of the Sky is definitely a lot less damage, but
yeah, it's a lot. Are you about to go?
It's only 1 less damage on average.
Yeah, that's.
It's actually
2.
yeah.
No,
2, right?
1. It's +3, not
So it's
+2.
just +3 plus proficiency bonus.
Oh, yeah,
Only 1
actually.
less damage.
But the maximum.
You
can roll.
Yeah,
an
what if
8.
it crits, Dan?
Oh.
You do lose the damage of the charge. You don't have charge.
Oh, that's true. Charge does do damage.
No, I would take flight over. Just prevent the beast from ever dying.
From ever dying? I think that's the value you're gonna be getting.
I would probably do Beast of the Land solely because I want the.
You want it to
beast.
die and tank?
Yes, exactly. I am a coward.
which is valid also, to be fair.
Totally, they're both good, and
Yeah.
that middle one exists
And-
too.
It's the water niche one. It's fine. It's got its purpose.
But
built
like,
into
like
it.
the thing is
Exactly.
that also consider just like it just like scales way more elegantly, right? Because it's like let's see, let's take like Beast of the Sky for instance, right? At 20th level, you're gonna have a 6 proficiency bonus that has 19 AC, which is really solid. It's going to have 4 times your ranger level, which is gonna be 20, so 84 hit points. Not terrible, honestly. You know, you can eat a couple fireballs with that. And because you have extra attack and your proficiency bonus continues to go up, it's like it has a +6 in its like primary stat, right? Which is
Sure.
it can multi-attack with it. So like you actually have way more flexibility and utility than I feel like you used to. Just because having those things is nice. Having those things tied to an actual creature that is like kind of shitty and can't attack unless you eat attacks out of your own attack. It's like, yeah, I think that's
That's a good point. Actually, it is worth mentioning that because it always. Well, no, the bonus action doesn't. But if you replace your attack action until the beast gets extra attack, it's not really a damage up probably.
Mhm.
But that's okay. Right. What else do they get?
So at 7th level, on any of your turns when your beast companion doesn't attack, you can use a bonus action to command the beast to take the dash, disengage, or help action on its turn. In addition, the beast's attacks now count as magical for the purpose of overcoming resistance and immunity. I mean, that has to be written in there, but dash, disengage, or help. So that's the thing about ranger companions is before they were basically you summon an owl and it's your help bot, right? So
Yeah,
that
which is
hasn't
just fine familiar.
right, which like that hasn't really changed because help is still a pretty strong action. It just means that the attacks are actually competitive again. But I mean, dash, disengage, help. Can
Help
be
for
really-
context. The help action gives advantage to an attack or something that someone else
Yeah,
is
the
trying to
first
do.
attack against an enemy. So you know, obviously you get some utility there. It does mean that your you can have it dash and it will go 120 feet. I don't know, like I'm sure there's some circumstance where that might be useful. So 11th level, when you command your beast companion to take the attack action, the beast can make 2 attacks, or it can take the multi-attack action if it has that action. This part is written in there because of the beast thing, right? Of the original beast thing, because none of these have the multi-attack feature. But
Yeah.
it just means that you get more attacks out of your beast, which is always good, especially because as a ranger, you never get more than 2 attacks. So you are essentially sacrificing 1 attack to make 2 attacks. So you've got multi-attack level 2 now.
Yeah, it's just not very strong multi-attacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously, like you don't have the benefit of like any potential magic weapons or anything.
It still seems like even up to level 10, 11, and definitely a little bit of a boost at level 11, not huge. Like, it does just have more DPS than a normal ranger.
Yeah, for sure. And then
That's
at
good.
15th level, when you cast a spell targeting yourself, you can also affect your beast companion within with the spell. If the beast is within 30 feet of you, this is the like fine greater steed or whatever thing that you can do.
Yeah.
But my question, I guess, is does that matter for a ranger?
Do they get haste?
So that's a good question. What? Okay, hold on. Where's the ranger spell list? I need to look this up.
I'm looking it up. They don't get haste. Let me see what kind of
ranger spell
spells
list.
we
Can't
get
believe I have to
here.
fucking Google this manually.
It's
Okay.
nothing.
So
Stone skin.
Oh baby,
baby.
stone skin. Okay, now this is also important though. The distinction here is that when you cast a spell that targets yourself, it does not say that only has a range of self, right? Which the Fine Greater Steed does. So any spell that affects
True.
you, that
So
you
if you
cast,
heal yourself, you
right?
heal
Exactly.
your pet.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the list though. I don't see anything outstanding.
Nothing that good, right?
Uh,
Kind of what I was thinking.
I don't know. Even at 15th level, something like a Hunter's Mark Double Death is kind of obsolete. Zephyr Strike, I guess. I don't know. The Ranger spell list is not very impressive.
It's not that good.
I'm just kind of double looking at it again.
Wait, Rangers don't get web?
That's depressing.
Fuck. That is
I don't
depressing.
know. Like freedom of movement on 2 people, that's not even that crazy. That's just
it's not that good.
It's like it's okay, I guess.
Let's see.
Greater restoration times 2, but 15th level. You don't get that till like 17th level anyway. That's I don't know. Nothing. There's nothing that crazy.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like the strongest spells that Rangers really get access to, which is funny because like Rangers get a lot of like unique spells that only Rangers get, but none of them are that good. And the only good spells that a Ranger has access to is stuff like plant growth, right?
Okay. Well,
So yeah,
I don't think that's really strong. I do think this is actually fairly good early
I think
game.
it's fairly good
strong.
early for sure. I feel like this to me is like it feels okay. Obviously, I don't have context for the rest of the Rangers. I barely ever read Rangers, but to me, it kind of feels like it's hovering between A and B for me. Just because like companions tend to be fairly strong.
I'm gonna say let's probably shove it near the middle at first until we figure out a scale.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Like,
I just got back, but I was gonna say I have no clue where this goes, so I think we should put it in B until we know more.
Yeah, but like I'm not done quite talking about it yet though, because there's a few things we didn't go over. One thing is at the top it says you can use your bonus action to command it to take an action, right? But it doesn't. It says this action can be won in its stat block or some other action, which means your beast can run up and do medicine checks on downed people. Your and it has proficiency in that. Your beast has proficiency in medicine. You can add your primal bond. You can add your proficiency bonus to any ability check. Your beast is better than a bard. It has proficiency in every single skill.
Oh my god! Wait, you're right.
I think. Hold on. What was there was a condition on that? It was any other. Was it anything, or is it anything that it can do? Because
you can add your proficiency bonus.
Okay. The action bit. Where is that line?
This action can be won in its stat block or some other action.
I think it's some other action that the beast would be able to do. There are some pretty strong arguments.
No, there aren't any actions here.
That it doesn't know how to do a medicine check if it's an animal beast.
No, these beasts don't have actions listed here. What else would it be?
Probably not medicine. Like, okay, let me reframe it. I don't think it can make a history check. Straight up. I'm sorry. I do not believe.
I think it can make a performance check. I think it can make a history check. I think your beast can. I think this beast can start persuading people with its puppy eyes.
I think I appreciate that. I love that idea. I kind of suspect that if that were to be sage advice, I suspect that Jared McCrawford would shoot that down. I don't know if he has.
We can definitely look it up, but I'm kind of on Dan's side here. I think the beast can.
Let's see.
The reason I don't think that is because it would then have proficiency in literally every skill, right?
Yes. I think they did. That's how it's written. Let's see. Oh, yeah, this guy says, remember, because this guy's like also is kind of saying what you're saying. That can't be right. But this guy says, remember that the beast cannot talk and has the limitations of the beast. Yeah, it has proficiency in history, but that doesn't mean it knows the history of the world and can start a history class. If the pet succeeds a history check, it might mean that it has a little intuition.
And same deal with the medicine check, right? So it's going to be whether or not your DM lets you justify your beast having the wherewithal to know how to do a medicine check.
The beast stabilizes you by licking the wounds closed.
Yeah, I think it's like it's not just an animal, right? At least for the primal companion, it is a primal beast which draws strength from your bond with nature. I feel like that might know how to do a medicine check.
Where does it come from?
It might, but I think that's going to be up to your DM's discretion. And with that wishy-washy, I hesitate to bank power level on that.
You can't. I think you're looking at it the wrong way. We have to base it as written. The DM might nerf them by saying no, you can't do that. But as written, you can.
I guess.
We have to look at it the opposite way.
No, but even in that, they specifically stated sage advice, right? As in, like, it might not be able to, depending on what the beast knows, and
Yeah.
we don't know what the beast does or doesn't know, which is why I don't want to do that. But I don't think it changes that much either way. It does make it a bit better.
I mean, that's a pretty proficient party member that can help you guys in a whole bunch of stuff. You got an effective skill monkey right there.
That's so funny.
I mean, the thing is, like, it's not even that strong if it's proficient in all skills because, like, its stats are not ever going to increase.
Its stats are not that. I expected its like int and charisma to be like down at the 6s, but no, int's 8 and charisma is 11 for this beast of the sky. Let's see what the
They're all the
beasts-
same.
They're all the same, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like
Those stats are not that low.
Wait, their stats are slightly different,
What?
ever
Really?
so slightly.
Basically the same.
Yeah.
Oh,
they're
the
functionally
strength
same.
on the sky
strength on
one
the sky
changed,
one,
and
yeah.
the con and the dex
dex.
a little bit, but the mental stats are the same, yeah. But like, in terms of ranking, this feels pretty strong because this is a whole other party member that you now have 2 party members that both have maybe subpar DPS, but like combined, that's 2 party members.
Right,
with-
exactly. Combined, 2 like 0.75s of a party member
Yeah.
each. It's like that's 1.5 characters.
This is 1.5 characters. Yeah.
Huge.
I suspect
That's
the power
good.
level is probably closer to like 1.25 overall.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, we don't know. The reason we don't know is because we don't know the other ranger subclasses. So I'm okay with A or B. I don't actually care. I don't think
I
it's
think-
remotely
so
relevant
the
which
thing is,
right
like,
now because I don't know.
I think it's true that we don't know what the other ranges are, but I think just objectively looking at like having another party member, we've already acknowledged is really strong. And like, the stats seem decent enough to like.
I'm fine with A, but I literally do not know because we haven't looked
We're
at
just
other
keeping it in B
rangers.
for now. Keep it in B for now. No.
I genuinely don't know
It's
without
B for
looking at
Beastmaster.
others. Also, this
Great.
meatball
We
sub
have
is
Drake
mind-blowingly spicy.
It's so good.
It is too spicy. This is the
Too
spiciest. This is the spiciest thing I have eaten in
think-
months. I'm not shitting you.
I think you got more spice than I did.
Is just I went and grabbed milk. I have not had to do that in months of Steven's cooking, and for some reason, this meatball sub
I don't think
is
it's that
so
spicy.
spicy.
I think yours is spicier than mine.
What the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, anyway.
Get wrecked.
So
We have another pet clash, don't we?
Drake Warden. Yeah, it looks like this is another pet class.
What's this
I think
from?
This is from Fizzban's Treasury of Dragons. It used to be in Another Arcana, but it's in the Dragon expansion book. This is a book that
it is
none of us
official.
own,
Yeah.
but it's basically like just a lot of dragon stuff. Like there's lots of different kinds of dragons.
We
in
should
it.
get this book.
It actually seems like a cool book because it expands on dragons, which are kind of lackluster in the actual source material. But so Drake Wardens are rangers that have connections to the natural world that takes the form of a draconic spirit. The dungeon has dragons, you're right. So at 3rd level, the bond you share with your Drake creates a connection to dragonkind, granting you understanding and empowering your presence. You gain the following benefits. You learn the Thaumaturgy cantrip, which is a ranger spell for you. Pretty cool.
I like that.
Rangers don't get cantrips, so that's actually really neat.
That's a good one.
And then Tongue of Dragons, you learn to speak, read, and
Oh my
write
God.
Draconic, or one other language of your choice. But I mean, that makes sense. And also at 3rd level, because that's the ribbon ability, you, as an action, can magically summon the Drake that is bound to you. It appears in an unoccupied space of your choice within 30 feet of you. Okay, I just had to
Is
check
this the
real quick.
same?
I just had to check real quick. It doesn't have a time limit on it. It's just until it dies. So you can use an action, but you can just do that at the beginning of the day. The Drake is friendly to you and your companions and obeys your commands. See its game statistics, etc.
Is there
Let me
anything different from this companion compared to the other one on its rulings, like its 3rd level ruling here?
Let's see. It doesn't have the thing where you can replace your attacks. You can only command it as a bonus action.
Okay.
Okay.
Interesting.
It has 14 plus your proficiency bonus natural armor, 5 plus 5 times your ranger level HP. Makes sense. It has +1 dex plus proficiency bonus in saving throws and +2 wisdom plus proficiency bonus in wisdom. So it has proficiency in dex and wisdom saving throws. You get to choose which kind of dragon. So it's color. Draconic essence. Wait, listed in its draconic essence trait. Oh, okay. Choose a damage type: acid, cold, fire, lightning, or poison, and it's immune to that type, which is nice. Chosen type determines the drake's damage immunity and the damage of its infused strikes trait. It has as an action, it's +3 plus proficiency bonus to hit. 1d6 plus proficiency bonus piercing damage. It's not that good.
No.
But as a reaction, when another creature within 30 feet of the drake that it can see hits a target with a weapon attack, the drake infuses the strike with its essence, causing the target to take an extra 1d6 damage of the type determined by its draconic essence.
Yeah, but 2d6 plus proficiency bonus, that's 7. That's the same damage. It's 0.5 more damage than the Beast of the Land. But it doesn't have the charge feature. So,
yeah.
I mean...
And it eats its reaction. Which sounds like nothing, but...
Where?
Yeah.
Does it say that,
I mean, it's not your reaction, though. It's its reaction.
Yeah, which means it can't take an opportunity attack.
Why would you
Where
want it
does
to make an opportunity attack?
I mean, that seems... I agree with Sean here. That
Technically a DPS loss, potentially.
Yeah.
I admit it's minor, but it is worth noting.
it does...
All right.
It does move a little faster, and it has a little more AC, and it has a saving throw. So it's beefier, moves a little faster, but it doesn't really have proficiency in everything.
Yeah, that's true. It's not as good as it's not good for out of combat stuff. That being said, I mean, I think weird niche thing, you can essentially apply this to a crit and it will get doubled.
Oh, you could talk to it though.
Oh. Yeah, it speaks Draconic.
True.
Lol.
That's
Okay.
actually interesting.
At 7th level, the bond you share with your Drake intensifies, protecting you and stoking the Drake's fury. When you summon the Drake, it grows wings on its back and gains a flying speed equal to its walking speed. In addition, while your Drake is summoned, you and the Drake gain the following benefits. Oh, Drake mount! The Drake grows to medium size, reflecting your special bond. You can use the Drake as a mount if your size is medium or smaller. When you're riding the Drake, it can't use the flying speed of this feature. Wait.
Oh,
It's a ground mount.
It's a fucking dinosaur!
Oh,
You know what?
look,
All right.
At
Dinosaur's
15th
cool.
level, it gets big.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. The Drake's bite attack deals
you
an
can
extra
fly.
1d6 damage type of the type chosen for the Drake's Draconic Essence, so it's 2d6 plus your proficiency bonus.
Interesting.
And you gain resistance to the damage type chosen for the Drake's Draconic Essence. That's
Also nice.
pretty poggers. It's just like that feature where you can just like choose one element to become resistant to.
God, you probably won't even use it as a mount in combat. You're probably just gonna let it do its
Right?
thing.
Yeah.
But you can ride it while out of combat. Just be thematically.
But
just
it's like,
go on.
but like,
Speedy.
I was gonna say like, statistically, it's not that strong, but like, it's really fucking cool. Okay, so at
It's your
11th level,
baby.
as an action, you can exhale a 30-foot cone of damaging breath or cause your Drake to exhale
Oh,
it.
you
I like
can
that you
breathe.
can do it.
Let's go.
Choose acid, cold, fire, lightning, or poison damage. Your choice doesn't have to match your Drake's
It's a
Draconic Essence.
fireball.
Each creature in the cone must make a dexterity saving throw against your spell save DC, taking 8d6 damage on a failed save or half as much damage as a successful one. A damage increases to 10d6 when you reach level 15, and you can't do so again until you finish a long rest, unless you expend a spell slot of 3rd level or higher to use it again. Finally, a use for spell slots!
Oh my god! Wait, at 11th level, how many spells? Let's see, Ranger. How many 3rd level spell slots do they have? Let's see.
I bet they have 2.
You're probably
let's see. Let's see.
Because that would be 3 fireballs at 11th level.
They have 2
Ooh.
3rd level spell slots.
Nope.
That is 3 fireballs.
No, 3 3rd level spell slots.
Okay, they have 4
3, yeah.
fireballs.
4 fireballs. All right.
S tier.
I mean, we'll get there. But yeah, initially I was like, I'm rapidly realizing that the Beast Master one has like a really good 3rd level ability and then just kind of lackluster everything else.
Yeah, yeah.
The single target DPS on it is fine, I guess. But
Yeah.
But man, 11th level, like, 11th level Fireball for what is ostensibly a half caster class is really strong, and you get a lot of them.
And your pet is still going around doing its thing.
Yeah. Okay.
And you're on your pet.
Yes, exactly.
want-
You're on
if you
your.
wanna be.
You're on your. You. There's
Why
no
wouldn't you want to be?
There's no reason to be mechanically because it means that you could have better positioning options for like fireballing because it's a 30-foot cone, but still, I mean. Okay.
Cool.
At 15th level, the Drake's Bite attack deals an extra 1d6 damage of the type chosen for its Draconic Essence for a total of 2d6 extra damage. So that is 3d6.
So 3d6
damage plus your proficiency bonus.
So it'll be like, I don't, what is that? 3d6 plus 5 or something.
Yeah.
That's all right. And you're just doing that as a bonus action each turn.
Yep.
That's
The
pretty
Drake
good.
grows to large size when you ride your Drake. It is no longer prohibited from using the flying speed of Bond of Fang and Scale. Which,
Nice.
All right, cool. You can fly now. That's always really good. Period.
They fly now.
When either you or I also love this. It's not like a temporary size increase. It just gets bigger. And then reflexive resistance. When either you or the
grows.
Drake takes damage while you're within 30 feet of each other, you can use your reaction to give yourself or the Drake resistance to that instance of damage. You can use this reaction a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest.
That's really good.
Whoa!
This is
That's
like
really good.
really good, right? Because it is basically that the rogue's uncanny dodge, but like stronger because you can use it on any instance of damage. And like it's
Damn.
obviously
Yeah.
limited by the number of proficiency bonus you have, but at 15th level, that's like 5 uses. Like you'll go through a combat and you'll probably have some left over.
This might be the best ranger.
I think it might be. I think this is like this seems
My
really
early-
strong.
My early take.
How much hit points does it have at 3rd level? Because we're in agreement that it's insane.
Yeah, so 20
20
hit points.
with-
It
It's
has
still
the
got
it has
the-
the same
Yeah.
HP scaling as the Beast Companion.
Damn.
I do think it's very comparable, about pretty much equal to the Beast Companion until you hit
Until you hit 11.
7th level.
Seven.
What is this? What
Oh,
is 7th?
7,
Let's see. I mean, yeah. What is the other one's 7th level feature is
Extra attack, basically.
overcoming magical damage, whereas this one just innately overcomes magic. Yeah, okay. At 7th level, this one becomes better, I would say. And then at 11th level, it's fucking way better. But at 7th
Yeah,
level,
it's
they're
no
still pretty
contest.
close.
Yeah.
Like, the other one, getting an extra attack with your bird, oh boy, like another fucking 6 damage per turn. This one gets 4 fireballs. That's not a comparison.
No.
We're literally doing that like that thing in Toy Story where he like Andy drops Woody and he's like, I don't want to play with you anymore.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
Is it A tier or S
I
tier?
was like, is
I
this
think
an
this is
S tier
S
class?
tier.
I feel like it's an S tier class.
I think
fine
it's an
with that.
S tier class.
I don't really know, but so we can
Like-
reshuffle
Yeah,
later.
I-
But yeah, I
We'll
think you're
find
probably
out.
right. It's Fireball.
It comes online at level 7, basically. 'Cause
I
was
think
saying,
it comes
until
really
then, it's
online
not
at
all
level
that
11,
exciting.
to be honest.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
my one
11
hesitation.
is the big power spike IMO.
That's my one concern.
Is that it takes a long time to ramp.
It
Yeah.
does, and we wait 3 and 7 heavier, but those aren't bad levels. It's just
No.
11's really good.
We already know, like having another party member, even if they're not very strong, is just another body that helps
Yeah.
a lot. So
Plus,
it's innately strong.
dragon.
Yeah.
Dragons are cool. That's my hot take.
Yeah.
Okay. Faye
We'll see if
Wonder.
Beastmaster even gets bumped up. We'll see.
All right, Jen, you want to read this one?
Sure, I can do that. Let me just look at your stream, yeah. Dreadful Strikes. At 3rd level, you can augment your weapon strikes with mind-scarring magic drawn from the gloomy hollows of the Feywild. When you hit a creature with a weapon, you can deal an additional 1d4 psychic damage to the target, which can take this extra damage only once per turn. So it's like the Zealot Barbarian, but less by a lot.
A lot less.
Like way less. Wait, remind me what the Zealot Barbarian extra damage once per turn is?
1d6 plus half of your barbarian level.
Oh my god.
So this is 2.5 damage. That one is. It already starts at 4.5 and it just scales way faster.
I have to assume that it gets augmented in some way.
Maybe, but it says the extra damage increases to 1d6 when you reach 11th level. That is almost irrelevant.
Oh yeah, it gets
God.
augmented.
Oh boy,
Why?
11th
Why?
level,
Why
you
does
get
it even go up at that point?
one more damage.
This isn't. I was about to say they didn't know how Rangers should work when
This
they
is
wrote it.
Tasha's.
This is Tasha's. Whatever. Maybe it's amazing elsewhere.
Okay, we'll see. Fey Wonder Magic. At 3rd level, you also learn additional spell. You learn an additional spell when you reach certain levels in the class. That's always nice. Let's see. Okay, and it doesn't count as against the number of spells, so it's just 3 spells. 3rd level
Yep.
Charm Person. That one is fucky, but it can be useful. Misty Step at 5th level is great.
Really good.
9th level Dispel Magic. That's a great one. 13th level Dimension Door. That's also a great one.
Also really good.
And then 17th level Mislead. I don't know how to feel about that one, but those first 4 are actually pretty solid options.
Those. Yeah.
This is a good extra spell list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Objectively.
So what is Mislead real quick? Not that it matters that much.
It's not you create an illusory double of yourself, and it lets you cast from the double spot, if I recall.
Huh.
No, it doesn't. I am misremembering.
Let's see. The double lasts for the duration, but the invisibility ends if you attack or cast a spell.
Oh, you become invisible while the double appears. That's funny.
Yeah.
Use your action to move your illusory double up to twice your speed and make a gesture, speak, behave in whatever way you choose. You can see through it. You know what this is? This is like Apex Legends Mirage.
It's true, but you can see.
Bamboozle.
I mean, this is kind of some out of combat shenanigans. I guess
Yeah.
you could come up. But
Yeah,
at
I don't
17th
think
level,
you
it's
would-
kind of.
You wouldn't really use this in combat unless you like really needed like the invisibility.
Yeah, and you knew for a fact that they were gonna fall for the illusion.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
You
it's
get
also
this at a
just, like,
level where your casters have 9th level spells, so I think tricking some enemies can be easily done by.
Yeah,
other
I think
people.
it doesn't matter if your enemies can, if like a couple enemies think you're somewhere else when your wizard is literally calling down the apocalypse.
Yeah, but regardless, the other spells are good, and I like that. Let's see. Feywild Gifts is another
third level feature.
Yes. Looks like choose your blessing from the Feywild Gifts table or determine it randomly. Oh, this is just flavor.
Yeah.
But you can roll a d6 if you want, or you can pick one of them, I guess. Illusory butterflies flutter around you while you take a short or long rest.
Cool.
Fresh seasonal flowers sprout from your hair each dawn. You faintly smell cinnamon, lavender, nutmeg, or another comforting herb or spice.
I like this one because it's not even like that like supernatural. A normal person could do this by just like
Yeah.
rubbing some cinnamon on their body,
Yeah.
putting it in their body wash.
But you get it, no effort.
Yeah.
Your shadows dance while no one is looking directly at it. Horns or antlers sprout from your head. Your skin and hair change color to match the season of each time. I like it.
That one's pretty cool.
Good, cool flavor. I think that would be fun to play with. And every like day you just be doing that, or is it just you get this once?
I think you get it.
You get one of these, and it doesn't
one.
change.
Most of the
I
time,
don't
it's
think you can
yeah.
change it.
Okay. Well, also at 3rd level, otherworldly glamour. Additionally, at 3rd level, your fey qualities give you a supernatural charm. As a result, whenever you make a charisma check, you gain a bonus to the check equal to your wisdom modifier. Okay. In addition, you gain a proficiency in one of the following skills of your choice: deception, performance, or persuasion. I mean, all right. If you want to be decent at one of the charisma skills, you will definitely be decent at them. You'll add your wisdom. I feel like a lot of rangers have trouble getting their dex, con, and wisdom up. So
Yeah.
you might have like a +3 modifier in your wisdom at this point if you're lucky, and then you'll have like a +0 or +1 in your charisma. So you even with all this, you might still get outclassed by all your charisma players.
Yeah,
but like,
I mean, it just
spec
means that
into
you.
it-
I was. It just means that you essentially get to make charisma checks with wisdom instead.
well, yeah,
It's-
that's true.
Yeah. But
That's
it is
nice.
potentially that's good, and then it's potentially a big bonus if for somehow you have like
If for some reason you decided, you know what, I don't want combat stats. I'm just gonna take
I don't
only
want
wisdom and
Yeah,
charisma.
who needs Constitution? I'm
listen.
gonna put charisma.
Listen, I
Bards-
took a -7 in Constitution. Like it's fine. It's not that big of a deal.
Bards and rogues only get proficiency and expertise in it. If you can find a way to get expertise, you actually out bonus them
There are feats for that. Yeah, that would be
because
that
it
would be quite
stacks with all of
impressive.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely don't think this is super strong, but sure, it's cool. I like
I mean,
it.
it's a 3rd level feature. I mean,
Oh, there are
honestly, at third level, if you don't have a charisma class, which like you know, it's one of those things where like we can say like if you don't have a charisma class, but like half of the classes in the game are charisma classes.
And some of them are quite popular.
More
Anyway.
people with deception is always handy.
That's
True.
true.
In any case, that was like 4 third level features. We're gonna finally move on to a 7th level feature. The magic of the Feywild guards your mind at 7th level. You have advantage on saving throws against being charmed or frightened. So just elf, I think. Oh, but also frightened. That's pretty good.
Frightened is pretty
That's
good.
for a ranger. In addition, whenever you or a creature you can see within 120 feet of you succeeds on a saving throw against being charmed or frightened, you can use your reaction to force a different creature you can see within 120 feet of you to make a wisdom saving throw against your spell save DC. So you want wisdom again. If the save fails, the target is charmed or frightened by you, your choice. Oh, so even if it was a fear, you could make them charmed for 1 minute. The target can repeat the saving throw at the end of each turns, ending its effect on a successful save. This is very niche, but cool.
This is niche, but not like it's not awful.
You're just like hoping you fight lots of fear monsters.
Yeah. But the thing is also, it means that your charm spells are a little stronger because it means you still get an ancillary effect even if they succeed, right? Because it doesn't specify you or a friendly creature. It says just whenever you or another creature you can see.
Oh, that's really funny, actually.
Yeah,
and you do get Charm Person.
Yeah, exactly. So you can cast Charm Person, and if they succeed on it, you can just choose somebody else.
Charm the person next to them.
Right, exactly. It's like, oh, you won't accept my charm? Well, how about you, best friend?
Two guards guarding a door.
Yeah.
One next to them.
Yeah, one succeeds, and then you're just like, bounce, and then it hits them, charms them, and then it's like, okay, all right, I'm the one that only tells the truth.
No, the one next to them that succeeds just stares at them like meme face. Like, what, bro?
Bro,
come on.
It's really like it's not that strong, but it is kind of funny.
It's super not strong. Because I mean I don't know. You can make use of this, I guess. How many charms do rangers have besides this one that the subclass has?
Let's see.
Boy.
Let's take a look. Charm. Let's see. What is it? Charms are enchantment, right?
Yeah. Usually,
I think animal friendship is a charm spell.
Yeah, but that thing's never gonna fail.
Animal messenger. Third level.
They know 0 third level enchantment spells.
Yeah.
Dominate beast.
That's probably a charm. Great.
That's kind of it, I think.
Dominate beast at 4th level. That's the first good one for actual combat.
They
but
get
it's only beast.
They get 4th level spells at level 13.
Oh, and it's a beast.
Oh.
At that point, even Tyrannosaurus Rexes are obsolete.
Yeah.
So never mind. That's
this.
Well,
it's not really good. I mean,
wait a minute.
If you have a party member that can charm, I guess. But
yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be your charm, right? Like honestly, if you just have a better class, like if you have a better spellcaster in your team and they cast like hypnotic pattern, it could be okay.
Yeah, but then we get like if we assume the best case scenario, where you have someone, you guys are charming people, and you successfully use this ability to get a charm off on an opponent that you're fighting that you wouldn't have gotten a charm off on otherwise. So great, you have a charm. I believe according to the rules of charm, that means that person won't attack you, but they're just gonna stab your allies. Like, am I wrong?
I have never understood charm. Be real. I think you're correct.
Charm's
Like
really
charm
weird.
is not that powerful it's a very weak in combat ability.
It could be that you would then have like advantage on the charisma check to persuade them to not attack your allies as well, or like that you're a neutral party. Like
That's true.
Because of how ambiguous it is, it could potentially I think it could potentially stop them from attacking, but I really don't know, which is why I don't want to weight the power level of it. And
Yeah.
to be clear, if you doubt that, you could, instead of charming them, you could make them frightened of you.
So yeah, you're actually right. These are the only two things that this does. A charmed creature can't attack the charmer or target the charmer with harmful abilities or magical effects, but they'll attack your allies.
Mm-hmm.
And the second thing, the charmer has advantage on ability checks to interact socially with that creature. Which, if they're fighting your allies, they won't actually matter. Like, this isn't gonna matter. Out of combat, maybe, but then
Out of combat,
if you already had the ability to charm someone, you're just gonna charm them. If your charm failed, can't you just try again?
Well, which is why the other condition is frightened, which is a good condition, but not the most powerful one by any stretch of the imagination.
No. This feels like a freebie.
Except for it takes up your 7th level.
I mean, yes,
Yeah.
but it feels like when you go to like a conference and they give you like a gift bag that has like a pen with the logo of the company on it.
Okay, so
Fruit basket.
Yeah. Imagine if you had a feature that was able to like either charm or frighten one target.
Mm-hmm.
It would not be stellar. And now imagine
whole bunch of conditionals
that you had to have a bunch of conditions on that feature.
Yeah.
You're right. It's not good.
Yeah.
The first part is all right. Nice and simple. You have advantage on saving throws against being charmed or frightened. Sure. The rest not. I don't know. Let's move on.
At 11th level, the royal courts of the Feywild have blessed you. You know the spell Summon Fey. It doesn't count against the number of ranger spells you know. You can cast without a material component, which is really nice. You can also cast it once without using a spell slot, and you regain the ability to do so when you finish a long rest. That's also really strong for a ranger. Whenever you start casting the spell, you can modify it so it doesn't require concentration. If you do so, the spell's duration becomes 1 minute for the casting. And the Summon Fey creature is a 3rd level conjuration spell. You can concentrate it on it up to it for 1 hour, and you call forth a Fey spirit. When you cast the spell, you choose a mood: fuming, mirthful, or tricksy. The creature resembles a Fey creature of your choice, marked by the chosen mood, etc., etc. Is an ally to you and your companions. It shares the same initiative count, but it takes its turn immediately after yours. It obeys your verbal commands, no action required by you. If you don't issue any, it takes the dodge action. So it's just a companion. It has 12 plus the level of the spell AC, which is going to be 3rd level. So that, and then 30 hit points plus 10 for each spell level above 3rd, so 30 hit points. It is immune to charm, and it has multi-attack with a short sword. So it does 1d6 plus 3 plus the spell's level piercing damage plus 1d6 force damage. So that's not bad, actually. Let's see. The Fae makes a number of attacks equal to half this spell's level rounded down. Wait, that's only one attack when you summon it 3rd level.
So if you upcast it to 3rd level, it's 2 attacks, I guess? I mean, upcast it to 4th level.
4th, yeah, to 4th.
But you can't do that with this feature, can you?
No. Well, it is still in it's in your known spell. So if you do have 4th level spell slots, you can. It just like when you cast it as for free. It just means that you're casting it at the lowest possible level, which is.
And at 13th level, you can do that. You can also still make it non-concentration and last for 1 minute. Okay.
Yeah. So it's. I mean, that's like 2d6 plus 3 plus the spell's level, which is 3. So 2d6 plus 6
13 damage.
Right? It's not
13 damage. It's
not bad.
And you're sacrificing your action to do this. And so your action normally you would be attacking twice for like, I don't know, if you hit both your attacks you might do 18 damage. So this will in a couple turns after like in 2 turns it's like neutral. In 3 turns it's
not bad.
In 3 turns it's actually a benefit, I guess.
And then like if you upcast it, like it's obviously better.
Yeah, that's true.
So the moods are let's see. It has bonus actions on its turn, which it can use to phase step, which is a 30-foot misty step, basically.
Cool.
And then one of the following effects occurs based on the phase chosen mood. If it's fuming, it has advantage on the next attack roll. It makes it for the end of this turn. Mirthful. It can force one creature within 10 feet of it to make a wisdom save against your spell save DC. Unless the save succeeds, the target is charmed by you and the Fae for 1 minute or until the target takes any damage.
Great charm. Could you scroll up a bit? I can't see the health or anything.
Sorry about that.
There's a lot, yeah.
And then Trixie, the Fae can fill a 5-foot cube within 5 feet of it with magical darkness, which lasts until the end of its next turn. So
That's so fucking tiny. I love it.
It's
30
really
health.
it's literally there just to like fuck with people. This is how you this is how you force opportunity attacks to not exist.
I do. This does feel bad right after you look at Beastmaster and Drake Warden, because at 11th level, those beasts have how much health do they have? Like 5 times your ranger level. They would have had like 60 something health.
Yeah,
60 health. This has 30.
It's
It also has less AC.
It's also a concentration spell unless you take a minute to cast it.
And it takes a full action to get out, whereas those are just innately out.
Yep.
Yeah, but I mean, with an hour casting time, honestly, like, it's not like impossible to have out before a fight. You know?
You mean hour like duration? Yeah.
An hour duration, yeah. Especially if you don't have to concentrate on it.
Well, the duration is 1 minute if you don't up. If you make it non-concentration.
Yeah, so it takes a minute to cast it. But
no, it always takes.
wait, what?
It always takes. Yeah, no. It
I
always
see
takes
what you
one
mean.
action
I
to
see what you
cast.
mean.
It's just
Okay,
only
yeah,
going to
yeah.
last a minute if you make it non-concentration.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
really, the best thing to do here is make it stay concentration and have it last an hour, so you can precast it and not waste your action at the start of combat.
Well, I mean, I think probably what you would be doing, IMO, is at 13th level you would summon it as a 4th level spell.
Yep.
Before the fight starts, and then when it inevitably dies because it only has 40 hit points, you just do the 1 minute cast one.
If it's even worth it at that point, but yeah, sure. But yeah, I agree. At 13th level, it does get stronger. That is nice.
Yeah. But basically, we've
Decent
come back to a
DPS.
weird thing where one, charm is not like charm by itself. The charmed condition is not that strong of a condition.
Yeah.
And so any class that's kind of based around charms is inevitably going to be a little like not as good. Mostly because like a lot of the game is combat. Charms tend to have a lot of drawbacks. A lot of times they know that they're charmed, which can lead to some problems for you. So like even if you are able to charm your way into getting something that you want, they're gonna know, and it's gonna basically cut off any future relationship you have with that person. And then also like. At 11th level, they're like, oh shit, this class is kind of weak. Fuck it, let's give you a companion, right? We'll give you a very conditional companion.
But you do have to work for it, unfortunately.
It's just a very finicky, very hard to use.
Yeah.
I think in general, the general like power level of it isn't that great. It's not like trash tier awful. Necessarily, but it's
No, that's the
not
class up until this feature.
good. Yeah, exactly. Like this feature itself is pretty okay, all things considered. And it can eventually, in a drawn out fight, it is better for you.
Decent TPS and draw effect.
So at 15th level, you can slip in and out of the Feywild. You can cast Misty Step without expending a spell slot, and you can do so a number of times equal to your Wisdom modifier. You regain all expended use when you finish a long rest. It's pretty nice. Whenever you cast Misty Step, you can bring one willing creature you can see within 5 feet of you. The creature teleports to an unoccupied space of your choice within 5 feet of your destination space. This is a strong ability, but it's also at 15th level, which feels
too little, too late.
Too little, too late. Yeah. Like this would be a nice feature at 11th level. Honestly, everything in this
like that feature.
Everything in this class needs to be brought down one level, like one level tier.
11th it would be balanced. At 7th it would be arguably broken.
Exactly.
You can it would be broken at 7th. You can you and another caster are now just safe whatever you want to do.
This is really good.
This is a good ability. It's just like it's just kind of like, and I mean, it does make sense to a certain extent of like at that point, you're basically playing pure support ranger. You exist to summon a Fey creature and then Misty Step your casters to safety. But Misty Step is a bonus action, so it's like you can still do things.
Most likely attacking with a bow.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably just attacking with the bow just because, which is funny because like I don't think base rangers like really get that many buffs to like actual attacking. Like they get a fighting style.
It's funny how only 2 levels earlier you got Dimension Door, which is very similar to this.
Yeah, that's true.
But now you can do it a billion times.
But now you can do it like really often
as a
For
bonus
30
action.
feet. But
As a
only 30
bonus
feet.
action.
as a bonus action. Yeah, yeah.
Instead of 400 feet or something, maybe you get 30 feet.
Instead of 400 feet as an action, yeah.
Yeah, that's really good.
Oh, bonus action spells, man.
Man,
Where do you think this rates? Because I think it's pretty far below average.
It has a really solid 15th, a really good 15th level, a pretty good 11th level, and those are all the late abilities that we weight less heavily. So pretty low down for
And
sure.
Everything else is not good.
C or D, pull up
The extra spells are all right.
extra spells are all right. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I feel like I think in general the extra spells are pretty good, but like your 9th level spell is Dispel Magic, which like obviously is good, but is not like it doesn't feel like one of those things where I'm like, woo, yeah, I get Dispel Magic. It's just like when you have Dispel Magic, it's nice that you get to use it, right? This to me feels kind of like a D tier class.
Yeah, I'm thinking D and maybe C.
Maybe C.
Yeah, in between C or D. So yeah. We can revisit later if needed.
I don't know. Maybe. I feel like it has to be D tier. I feel like other rangers have to get better features at lower levels.
Well, we can adjust it if needed, but yeah, I like D tier for now.
All right, Gloomstalker. Oh, baby.
F tier.
Yes, immediately. No, just kidding.
So the spells that you get are Disguise Self, Rope Trick, Fear, Greater Invisibility, and Seeming. Greater Invisibility is obviously really good.
Disguise Self is good. Fear is good. Rope Trick is something.
I love Rope Trick.
Rope Trick is
Seeming,
funny.
What the fuck does Seeming do?
I don't
remember.
I think this is a Xanathar spell.
It's another illusion spell.
Oh, this is in the player's handbook. Okay, let's see. You can change the appearance of any number of creatures that you can see within range. You give each target you choose a new illusory appearance. Oh, this is just like better Disguise Self, right?
Yeah, Mass Disguise Self.
Mass Disguise Self. Yeah, that's literally all it is. Yep, it lasts for 8 hours. It's Mass Disguise Self. So, disguise more. At 3rd level, you master the art of the ambush. You give yourself a bonus to your initiative rolls equal to your wisdom modifier. At the start of your first turn of each combat, your walking speed increases by 10 feet, which lasts until the end of that turn. If you take the attack action on that turn, you can make 1 additional weapon attack as part of that action. If the attack hits, the target takes an extra 1d8 of the weapon's damage type. That's pretty good. Yeah. That's actually really good.
Yeah, if literally this typically most combats usually last anywhere from like 2 to 4 turns,
right?
Usually so averaging around 3 turns. So this is
like a third to a fourth of your turns, you could just get an extra attack. That's pretty nice. Yeah. At 3rd level, nobody has extra attack yet, so you get extra attack on the first turn. And at lower levels, those extra attacks can really matter.
However, compare this to Beastmaster. And Beastmaster already has 2 attacks at those low levels, and Dragon Person also already has 2 attacks at 3rd and 4th level.
It's very true. It's very true.
This one's
it does get an extra 1d8 damage.
1d8. So that's basically like that's like 1.5 extra attacks.
Yeah. It's pretty decent. And then also at 3rd level, you gain Dark Vision out to a range of 60 feet. If you already have Dark Vision from your race, its range increases by 30 feet. You are also adept at evading creatures that rely on Dark Vision. While in darkness, you are invisible to any creature that relies on Dark Vision to see you in that darkness.
Which is amazing if you're in a dungeon or anywhere with darkness. Like, this is
anywhere with darkness,
broken. it's just advantage on everything. Enemies have disadvantage on you on everything, which is nuts.
And it's like, in general, it's not that hard to like engineer a scenario in which this is going to be useful, right?
Just
like,
fight at night.
Like fight at night, fight in dungeons and knock out lights. Like, honestly, if your teammates don't have dark vision, they should if you're playing this class, and you should just take every fight like on your own terms. And I think that's not super unreasonable. And you
can literally just be in the GM like, oh, I just hide behind pillars, I hide in the darkness, I hide in the shadows, and you're just gonna get a permanent amazing advantage that's like stronger than like you saw me playing Kobold Rogue.
Mm-hmm.
And it was pretty easy to avoid bright light. I think it would be a very similar situation here where it's pretty easy to get into darkness.
Yeah, darkness is pretty common, and also like a lot of fights take place in darkness anyway. Like you're in dungeons, and honestly, like unless you have like the one member of your party, inevitably you always have the one member of your party that doesn't have dark vision. But like whatever.
God, in my campaign, last session, the one player that didn't have dark vision died last session.
No! Oh no!
Death.
Oh goddamn!
What the fuck?
They kept going into more and more deadly scenarios.
Oh god!
And they kept almost dying and like surviving on pure luck on the death saves, and then they we go again.
Go again.
So you saw that player die, and you were like, "That was fun. Let me kill the rest of my other party."
No.
A few hours from now.
Dan was like, psychic scream,
hey, and I almost got you.
What would you have done if you had gotten us?
Don't worry.
Pray tell.
New campaign?
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the one at which immediately start playing Pathfinder 2e.
Mm-hmm. It was like GG roll credits roll.
Yep. Wow. Unfortunate. Unlucky. Anyway. 7th level, you have honed your ability to resist the mind-altering powers of your prey. You gain proficiency in wisdom saving throws. Nice. If you already have this proficiency, you instead gain proficiency in intelligence or charisma saving throws. It's whatever. Extra proficiencies in saving throws is really good, as we found out on Friday. Wisdom is a really common one, so that's pretty fucking good. You can only take the resilient feat once.
Yep.
So
this is quite good.
That is a very solid defensive option, especially because wisdom is such a common type. Yeah. You know, fears are wisdom based. Anything
that's got to be. It's in the three big ones: Dex, Con, and Wisdom.
Dex, Con, Wisdom. Yep. So, 11th level, you learn to attack with such unexpected speed that you can turn a miss into another strike once on each of your turns. When you miss with a weapon attack, you can make another weapon attack as part of the same action. That's really good.
Isn't that like Rogue's like capstone?
I think Rogue's capstone is turning a miss into a hit. This is like
slightly better.
This is.
Oh, but this could crit.
Yeah, I was gonna say this can crit, which I don't know how to account for that because you can still also just miss with the extra attack.
Yeah. The Rogue one's clearly gonna be better on average, but this is
like
11th level.
I mean, this is a really good feature, and it can proc every turn, and it means that you're just gonna miss less, and you have more chances to crit, which is like both pretty good things, I would say, especially as a martial class.
Also more likely to get your extra D8 of damage at the start of combat, but you're most likely to get that anyway.
That's true.
That's just more solid features.
Okay, and then at 15th level, you can dodge in unforeseen ways with wisps of supernatural shadow around you. Whenever a creature makes an attack roll against you and doesn't have advantage on the roll, you can use your reaction to impose disadvantage on it. You must use this feature before you know the outcome of the attack roll.
This is surprisingly deceptively bad, considering enemies will likely already have
disadvantage on you. That's what I was thinking. This feels like it's a way of shoring up your weakness in the daylight.
Yeah, it's a pretty meh 15th level ability.
As far as 15th level features goes, it's not that strong. But to be honest, it doesn't really matter because, like, at 11th level, you are pretty much as strong as a ranger is going to be, IMO.
Without a pet.
Without a pet, yes. Pets really knock that balance out.
We have to think about this in terms of power level. Because this is obviously, I think this is obviously going to be the best petless ranger.
I think that's true. So in my sort of evaluation, I feel like until Drake Warden had come out, I think Gloomstalker was like the best. But I think now that Drake Warden exists, Drake Warden is just the best ranger. Period. Right. And it's like this class has like one like super strong ability, and then like another super strong ability, and then a strong ability, right? It's just really solid all the way up until 11th level, right?
Yeah.
When you get Stalker's Flurry, like it's
and 13th level great invisibility is nothing to scoff at either.
yeah. It's also like the thing is that extra attacks are really good on rangers because they normally don't get to make as many attacks as fighters, as one of their weaknesses. And as a result of not making as many attacks, your effectiveness is like, you would think that your effectiveness is like about half, but it's actually worse than that because you have the chance of missing your attacks, and you don't have, say, the insurance of a paladin where if you do hit, you can just like dump a bunch of divine smite damage. Like rangers in comparison, and this is the reason why they have been kind of the punching bag of the D&D classes for a long time, it's like anything a ranger can do, someone else can do better.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at this, and imagine these features on a paladin, and it would be the most nuts thing anyway, because you're gonna be getting a lot of crits from the shadows just by sitting in the shadows, and people can't hit you. You can easily hit them with your advantage. You're probably gonna do elven accuracy on this shit,
of course, and
you probably do. But the best, like a paladin could be smiting. You just have your attacks. The best thing you can do, however, is take sharpshooter and maybe throw in a hunter's mark. So with sharpshooter though, this is actually kind of insane because
sharpshooter, elven accuracy, infinite advantage.
Sharpshooter, elven accuracy, crossbow expert, and you can make 3 attacks per turn, all with -5 to hit, but you have triple advantage because you're invisible.
So you're just never gonna miss. And if you do miss, you can just attack again.
Yes.
Oh my god, I hadn't thought about that.
So with feats in mind, and actually metagaming the shit of this, you can make it really nuts.
Really strong.
If you're not sweating it, you're just strong. You're just in the shadows doing, I'm guaranteed to hit my 1d8 plus 5 damage. Great.
Yeah, it feels
with
like
2 longbow hits.
the ceiling of this class is really high. If you're playing with feats, technically feats are an optional feature of the game. In my opinion, they're like a mandatory part of the game to be interesting.
But I think we can rate this on its potential.
I think so too, right? It's like I think like in general it's a really solid class, but at the same time, it, like you said, has the potential to be one of the most like disgusting, just like gigabolt turrets.
Yep. I mean, at 5th level, you might if you somehow manage to get all 3 of those feats by 5th level. I don't know how the fuck you did that, but you could be doing like 50 damage a turn at 5th level if you had all 3 of those feats.
Yep. I feel like I'm okay putting this in S tier. It can share the same tier as Drake Warden, acknowledging that AoE Fireball is really strong, and getting to cast it a lot is really strong.
I agree.
I think also like it's like it's not too terrible on its own merits. Like if you're only fighting like a single target, it might comparably perform.
What might comparably perform?
The Gloomstalker.
Yeah. Totally.
I'm okay with this as well.
Yeah.
Permanent advantage,
but yeah,
nearly permanent advantage is one of the strongest features you can have in this game.
I think
especially with
that's true.
Enemies having nearly permanent disadvantage on you. That's just like, oh my god, what?
It's just so funny to be like in darkness, and like a creature has dark vision because most creatures have dark vision, and you're just like, no, I don't think so.
3rd level, nearly permanent non-concentration, greater invisibility.
Yeah, it's nasty on its head.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, like, if you're in the daytime, also, you get at 13th level greater invisibility. So if you really need, it, you can still do it.
Yeah, it's true. But 1 through 12 daytime, you're pretty good. You're all right. You're not broken.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about Horizon Walker, which is in Xanathars. You get protection from evil and good. This is actually a pretty good spell. And actually, I would say really good for a ranger to have.
Your new favorite.
Yep. Misty Step. I will. Yeah, exactly.
Besides
if it
Bless.
wasn't, Bless is really good. I have a greater appreciation for protection from evil and good than I used to, but it's also just like a lot of times. At least as far as like a cleric goes, I feel like you don't really want to be casting it, but I think you as a ranger it's more useful. You can cast Misty Step, Haste, Banishment, and Teleportation Circle. Those are all pretty solid spells. I mean, will you cast Haste on yourself? That feels really risky.
No, it's fine.
Well,
Listen, this is what it is, right? Rangers have to fucking dope themselves up on steroids to be able to compete with fighters.
Oh no.
I would call Teleportation Circle niche, but you know.
Yeah, Teleportation Circle is niche, but like give me 5th level spells. Like
yeah.
What 5th level spell is really good for a ranger? Like Steel Wind Strike, maybe?
I love Steel Wind Strike. I don't know if it's good, but I love it.
I think for a ranger
fine,
it's good.
Yeah, I think it is one of the best
It's
rangers.
like, what else are you fucking doing as a ranger?
They don't have AoE options, which another reason why Drake Warden's Fireball is so nuts.
So, at 3rd level, you gain the ability to magically sense the presence of a planar portal. As an action, you detect the distance and direction of the closest planar portal within 1 mile of you. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a short or long rest. We're just not going to talk about that. At 3rd level, you draw on the energy of the multiverse to augment your attacks. As a bonus action, choose one creature you can see within 30 feet of you. The next time you hit that creature on this turn with a weapon attack, all damage dealt by the attack becomes force damage. It's kind of nice, honestly. And the creature takes an extra 1d8 force damage from the attack. And when you reach 11th level in this class, the extra damage increases to 2d8.
So you can do this as a bonus action each turn?
Yeah, so every turn you can just do an extra 1d8 damage on your weapon attack.
That's not bad. That's actually pretty good.
At 5th level, it's pretty good.
The fact if it wasn't for the force damage though, it would be pretty lackluster, like compared to like that zealot barbarian thing, which doesn't require any. Right. And even the other one that was 1d4 doesn't require any sort of bonus action.
Yeah,
but force damage is like easily one of the best damage types. Yeah. Usually it won't come up, but that's if you find an enemy that's resistant to your stuff, that's gonna make you very happy. Yeah, at third level, most other like martial or martial adjacent classes are going to struggle with the invulnerability or resistance to non-magical damage, and you can just bypass that entirely, which is admittedly a little niche, but it's nice to have when you do. And like it's just like never bad to have force damage in general, just because like a creature can oftentimes resist elemental damage, a creature can resist non-magical damage, can even just resist like bludgeoning, piercing, slashing on its head, right? Like you're fighting a barbarian that's not a bear barbarian, you can turn into force damage, it does full damage. Yep. It does a little clunky if you do want to do Hunter's Mark stuff for optimal damage, then like bonus action. Yeah, that's true. Hunter's Mark feels like one of those things. It's just like you kind of take it because you have to. Because Warlocks can get away with not doing Hex because they have better uses for their Hex isn't really optimal for a Warlock, but like for a Ranger. Rangers have nothing to use their spell slots on, so they want to be doing Hunter's Mark. Yeah. Get that sweet haste. I mean, haste is not bad on a ranged class. Mm-hmm. That is true. That is true. And Rangers very often lean towards being far away with longbow, which means you can haste yourself / haste allies. Let me tell you, you will not be that far here because bonus action 30 feet of you,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Damn.
So you can be at range, but you can't be that at range. And I think some of the other
Damn.
spells, let's keep going. You'll see.
Wait. Does Hunter's Mark require a bonus action each turn or just a bonus action once?
Is
I-
it
Oh, it's a bonus. It's a bonus
concentration?
action to mark a new creature. I see.
Yeah, I think it's only once.
God, maybe this feature is not very good. This planar warrior one.
Oh, yeah. Maybe you
Just
just
the
want to
30-foot
cast
range.
Hunter's Mark.
Forces you. You're better off because Hunter's Mark has a 90-foot range. It's not like you're using those spell slots for anything. You might as well just Hunter's Mark. It's better.
I like that you can upcast Hunter's Mark to make it last 24 hours. Like, why?
Oh, there's a reason for it.
because, yeah,
Oh, that's right, because you can. I see.
you can track them.
You can track them. Okay, 7th level. You learn to step through the ethereal plane as a bonus action on your turn. You can cast the etherealness spell with this feature without expending a spell slot.
At 7th level.
But the spell ends at the end of the current turn. Once you use this feature again, you can't use
Oh.
it again until you have a short or long rest. I feel like this, like,
Such a
what does
tease.
etherealness do again? Doesn't it let you like?
You literally transport yourself to the ethereal plane, and you were basically immune to everything, and they cannot even see you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, I think you literally just use this to walk through walls.
Yeah, totally.
Sure.
That is a very valid use. You use it to avoid any attacks. Like they can't do. How long does it last? Is it?
End of your current turn, so it's not like the enemy's gonna attack you.
Oh, wow.
I mean,
that's-
Yeah.
like, okay, you can avoid opportunity attacks with this because you are in the ethereal plane.
That's true.
Hooray! You can use a bonus action to avoid opportunity attacks.
Oh
Rogues
boy,
can
might
do
as well
that
just cast
many-
Misty Step.
Right, yeah,
You
might as well
have
just
Misty Step.
Misty Step lets you get further away. It's just better.
Misty Step can't go through walls.
Misty Step
When do you
cannot
want to
go
go through a
walls.
wall? Your party's
little
gonna be, where the
niche.
fuck
It's
did
a
they
little
go?
niche.
Come back! Help! Help! We're still fighting here.
It's a free Misty Step that's almost better.
It's not better though.
Yeah, I like really. Okay, listen, I know that.
This is awful.
In general, I go to bat for like weird niche abilities. But I'm like struggling to find a use for this that isn't like just walk beyond a wall, because the problem with walking beyond a wall is oftentimes it's to get into something that's locked or to get on the other side of something.
But you can't
and
get back through.
And then yeah, what do you do after that? You have to take a short rest so you can't go back.
This is one of those features that says you can use this feature up to your wisdom modifier a number of times.
I don't want to walk through walls. I don't want to walk through walls one way. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to be trapped on the other side of a wall.
No.
This
feature
is not a good ability. This like straight up just is not a good ability.
None of this shit's good.
It's not like that much worse than Misty Step is my argument, and it's free. It doesn't cost a spell slot, but you already have Misty
You know
Step.
what, actually?
So it's really not a
At-
good.
this
you know what? At
level.
30
You have-
feet,
you have so many spell slots that you're not using for anything anyway. You might as well
Yeah.
use that.
yeah. Okay, so here's the thing, right? Is like, actually, I'm beginning to see your point about the planar warrior thing, which is that like, so you can use planar warrior, but it has to be within 30 feet of you. So you honestly want to just be melee attacking. And if you're in melee-ish range, you might as well just use another weapon in your offhand. Like you can take 2-weapon fighting as a
Yep.
ranger. Like it's actually going to be better if you do that.
Ugh, it's so finicky to do ranged weapons and just stay at that 30. If this was 35 feet, that'd be great. No.
Yeah. I mean, like, I guess you could move 15 feet forward, use this
Yeah.
ability, and then move 15 feet back.
Oh,
and
it's
you're
so
at 45
clunky, I
feet.
hate
It's
it.
so clunky.
read Distance Strike for an
Oh god. Okay.
further.
Let's see. When you use the attack action, you can teleport up to 10 feet before each attack
What?
to an unoccupied space you can see. If you attack at least 2 different creatures with the action, you can
Did
make
Matt
1
Mercer
additional
make
attack
this?
with it against the 3rd creature. You're right. 10 feet, Matthew Mercer. Oh baby.
No.
So
Well, a
like-
third attack is all right.
okay, a 3rd attack is all right, but you have to make attacks against 2 different
Which means you're not
creatures,
focus firing anymore.
which means that your damage is going all over the place. It's not like that good.
You want to focus your attacks on one creature and kill it, then move to the next.
Okay, anyway, 15th level, your ability to move between planes enables you to slip through the planar boundaries to lessen the harm done to you during battle. When you take damage from an attack, you can use your reaction to give yourself resistance to all of that attack's damage.
Infinite uses. That's great.
Yeah, this is a really solid ability.
That's the Drake one. The Drakes get that, but they get other features at their 15th level too.
Yeah. So you gain resistance to all of that attack's damage on this turn.
I mean, I think that's quite good. Like,
That's
if you get hit
good,
by a fireball, I just want to be resistant to it.
That's not true though, because a fireball is not an attack.
Oh shit! Never mind.
So it's not as strong as the Drake Warden one.
Oh, because the Drake Warden was all damage, right?
It's just any damage.
Oh wow. Okay, and the other. Wow, this is just way worse in every way.
So the thing
Except
is,
for the fact that you can do it infinite times.
It says you can use your reaction to give yourself resistance to all of that attack's damage on this turn. Like, do they?
That's such weird wording.
It's such a weird wording. I wonder, like, do they mean like you're resistant to the damage types of that attack for the rest of the turn, or what?
No, I think they just wrote it badly.
I think so too.
I think part of the reason is for like continuous effects. So that you don't have resistance to that any continually occurring damage like dots on future turns. Only that attacks damage on this turn.
Yeah, but what attack has a dot?
I have no idea, but that's the only reason I can think of why you would write it that way. There's a couple. There's spells, for instance.
Okay, this class sucks. Can we put this in D tier and move on?
Are you sure it's not F?
No, actually, I think you're right. I think it might be an F tier.
Well, let's take a quick look and compare it to Fey Wanderer, why don't we?
Okay, all right. So, Fey Wanderer, let's see. Fey Wanderer is really bad too.
It is really bad, yeah. So Fey Wanderer, I think they both have about equal like bonus to their DPS.
Yeah.
Like I would put Dreadful Strikes on a similar level as the other one. Although the other one, this one doesn't have any bonus action.
I feel like
Dreadful Strikes has no bonus action. Sorry.
I feel like it's weird because Fey Wanderer is like somewhat redeemed by its 11th level feature, whereas I feel like that is not the case for Horizon Walker.
Yeah, Horizon Walker does not come online ever.
Yes, exactly. See, that's the thing, right? Is that Fey Wanderer is like really bad for a lot of the game. But there's a small bump where it actually like can start to do some stuff. But Horizon Walker just never gets anywhere. Like, sure, being able to give yourself resistance to an attack's damage is pretty solid. Like this is the rogue's uncanny dodge ability. And you don't have like a limitation on how many times you can use it. But it's at 15th level, and like also it doesn't really matter if you're taking half damage from an attack if you can't do anything while you're alive.
Yeah, I think it's F tier. Yeah. What do you think, Sean?
Oh man, I don't want to put it in F tier.
Why not? Do you think there's one worse than it?
Not so far. That's the problem.
It's pretty bad.
I think you're right. I think Fey Wanderer is better. It's incredibly niche. It doesn't even. I want to say it's niche, but it doesn't even do its niche well, does it? So like,
what's its niche? It doesn't have a niche.
Yeah. No.
Like it straight up just is a nothing class. Your niche is being able to move slight amounts of distance.
It doesn't even do the melee thing well because of that bonus action. No, you're right. I think it has to be enough.
Yeah, it's like bad. It's bad.
Anything.
It's clunky. It like clashes all over the place. It has no idea what it wants to do. I feel like if they wanted to make this like a planar warrior kind of thing, they should have given it the like Arcane Archer banishment arrows.
Well. All right, how many more of these do we have left?
We have
how much
4
time
more.
Do you have left?
So we have 4 more, and we've been going for about an hour and a half, and we're more than halfway through now. So I think we can clean this up.
Okay, sure. Wait, only 4? Yeah, that's
only
doable.
4 more. All right, let's do Hunter Conclave. So this is the like actual like physical martial.
This one's pretty simple, right?
Yes, it is. So it's essentially like the world's most restrictive battle master. At 3rd, 7th, 11th, and 15th level, you get to choose one feature from a list of features.
Great.
Okay.
I like choices.
Oh boy.
At third level, you gain one of the following features. Colossus Slayer. When you hit a creature with a weapon attack, that creature takes an extra 1d8 damage if it's below its hit point maximum. You can deal this extra damage only once per turn. Not that exciting, honestly.
And it's conditional, so if the enemy has to already have been hit.
Has to have already taken damage, yep. Which is not super ideal for you, honestly, as a ranger.
That's about as good as the other one that did 1d4 damage just non-conditionally.
Yeah.
Maybe slightly, but it's about the same.
I mean, I think it's like less conditional just because it doesn't eat your bonus action.
No. I'm talking the one that didn't eat a bonus action, the 1d4 psychic damage.
Oh, the 1d4 psychic damage. Yeah.
I think I rate that on a similar power level to this.
I think you're probably right. Giant Killer. When a large or larger creature within 5 feet of you hits or misses you with an attack, you can use your reaction to attack that creature immediately after its attack, provided that you can see the creature. That's actually not terrible. I mean, honestly, a lot of creatures are large or larger. You do have to be in melee range.
With a melee weapon, and it has to hit or miss you. It has to actually attack you.
It just means it has to attack you.
I love
but if you're a melee ranger, this is good, though. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. And like I think in general, this class, Hunter, the subclass, I think you should be meleeing.
Yeah.
So Horde Breaker. Once on each of your turns, when you make a weapon attack, you can make another attack with the same weapon against a different creature that is within 5 feet of the original target and within range of your weapon.
Yeah, this one's great.
So this is really good because it's just a free attack if there's more than one creature, and it's not like it's not conditional in the way that Horizon Walkers was, where it's like, oh, you have to hit 2 different creatures with your 2 different weapons, and then you can make a third against a different creature. This is just, if you're attacking a creature and there's another one that happens to be there, you can make another attack, and that's always going to be solid.
This is most, like 95% of the time, Hunter will take Horde Breaker because that's just an additional attack. That's at 3rd level and 4th level, that's double damage. At 5th level, that is 50% more damage.
Yep.
Assuming there are 2 enemies, and usually there are.
I actually kind of like Hunter as a ranger subclass, or just as a class in general, because it is one of the only melee characters. It's the only. Oh, hey, Evan, welcome back. Welcome back to the Women Respecting Club. I like Hunters.
You've talked a lot about your love of Ranger.
Yes, I'm sure I have.
Sorry.
Hunters, yeah. Because they're one of the only martial classes that get like martial-based AoE.
I remember you would always talk about Whirlwind Attack and how much you loved it.
I do like Whirlwind Attack. I mean, obviously, it has some of those similar problems, but we'll get to it. At 7th level, you can escape the Horde, which is opportunity attacks against you are made with disadvantage. It's honestly pretty solid. Or you can take multi-attack defense. When a creature hits you with an attack, you gain a +4 bonus to AC against all subsequent attacks made by the creature for the rest of the turn.
That's all right.
Or Steel Will, which is you have advantage on saving throws against being frightened.
I don't think any of these are that great, to be honest.
I don't think any of them are that great. I feel like Escape the Horde is probably the one you're going to be taking. Just giving you a little freedom and movement.
I don't know.
Multi-attack defense can be really good.
If you're a melee, then I think you take multi-attack defense.
I think that's probably true.
I agree. Multi-attack defense, like advantage on saving throws against being frightened, not enough. Opportunity attacks, like if you're melee, you're just gonna stay in melee range anyway. But multi-attack is pretty good. Imagine something has 5 attacks. If it hits its first 2 attacks, its next attack you have +8 AC to that. I think.
Ooh, wait, you're right.
It stacks.
Wait, that's actually you're right.
What?
Oh my god. Yeah, so if you're fighting the one demon
Hydra
creature that has like 18 attacks or whatever, like they'll stop hitting you.
Holy shit. I like that, yeah.
I didn't realize that. You're right, absolutely.
It is niche, of course, but
it's niche, but it scales with how many attacks the creature has, which is actually surprisingly good, right? Because
what's not niche is enemies having 2 attacks, and it'll be fairly common that you get that +4 bonus on a second attack.
Yeah.
Right. So it's essentially like +4 AC. This is so hard to math
Here and there.
Yeah.
You can't. It relies on them hitting the first attack as well.
Hitting the first attack, yeah. I think this is actually no, I'm on board now. This is that easily the best one.
Yeah.
Not that it's like broke.
Not that it's broken, but also like
it's also a bitch to keep track of, but other than that, I like it. I like it a lot. It's unique.
It's actually kind of funny though, because like this actually also does the job of Escape the Horde if for that's a turn, never mind.
Oh yeah.
Damn. But the thing is that I feel like it
Okay, if it was
scales.
permanent, that would just be insane.
It would be insane. It would be.
I have 50 AC now.
It scales in a really weird way because creatures that are higher level tend to have more attacks, which is like kind of a weird way of scaling anything.
Yep.
But yeah.
It's all right.
At 11th level, you gain one of the following features of your choice. Volley. You can use your action to make a ranged attack against any number of creatures within 10 feet of a point you can see within your weapon's range. You must have ammunition for each target as normal, and you can make a separate attack roll for each target. Or Whirlwind Attack. You can use your action to make melee attacks against any number of creatures within 5 feet of you with a separate attack roll for each target. So this is the same feature, but for ranged or melee. IMO, you should be taking melee for this class.
This is the melee ranger, yeah.
But Whirlwind Attack is niche.
Yeah.
But
I do think
good.
volley is also equal to whirlwind attack.
I think so too. I think you just
10 foot of a point you can see, which is that's a lot of squares right there.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of squares. It is also like it's more broadly applicable because like you have to be surrounded for Whirlwind Attack to get value. Whereas this is kind of just like a small AoE that you can just choose.
I mean, because volley could theoretically hit 16 targets that are in 5 feet apart. You know, they're just stacked. But like whirlwind attack could also hit a good number of targets.
Yeah, that's very true.
I'm actually looking at this as how I would optimize the fuck out of this. Again, because you got to go full sweat on these. If you played this like kind of like how the Gloomstalker did with Sharpshooter and Elven Accuracy to try to get a whole bunch of big.
Oh my god, no way!
You wouldn't be able to do this with Crossbow Expert, but if with hiding or invisibility of some sort, all you need is invisibility, like the level 2 version, because it's just they're all happening simultaneously. You can get triple advantage on all those creatures with Sharpshooter. But the big but is that total damage is still less than a fireball.
Yeah.
And it's more niche. It's smaller than a fireball. They can miss. So comparing this, like, that's some great AoE, but Drake Warden just blows it out of the water.
It really does. I feel like it does kind of feel somewhat to me like it was made because this is a base subclass, right?
Yeah.
So it's clear to me that it was kind of made in that sense of they weren't really sure what role things were supposed to take or what the general power level was. Obviously, as a game increases in complexity and the longer a game lives, the more content for that game is going to be released. This is true of pretty much any game. But power creep is always going to be just like really kind of an inherent feature of like any game that has like continually made content, just because like the more interesting things you can think of to put into something, the potentially stronger something can become, right? This is the Overwatch problem where every character nowadays comes out and has like 4 abilities bound to like 4 different buttons. But that's just because they're just like, wouldn't it be cool if they had this ability, right? And this ability and this ability, right? So this to me feels like we're hearkening back to a simpler era before we realized that Rangers sucked ass. It feels to me like Whirlwind Attack should be better than Volley, and they should make it so that you can make the attack action against all creatures within 5 feet of you, because you're at 11th level.
The attack action, you said?
That'd be sick.
Like,
wait, but why? That wouldn't make any sense, because then you do it every single turn. You'd always be whirlwinding.
That seems like a win.
That doesn't. Well, I don't see the downside.
That would make it too broken, honestly. Because this is already like, you can pretty easily get like 4 or 5 creatures around you, which means you're getting 4 or 5 attacks with Whirlwind Attack, which is amazing. If you suddenly make that 8 or 10 attacks per turn, you're just breaking the action economy of the game.
Well,
like
yeah,
you're just destroying. Yeah, but you know what would also be fun if you gave a meteor swarm to people as a class feature at level 2.
I mean,
would it be balanced though? No.
Josh, get on that.
Okay. I mean, the thing is also, but just like, I don't know, a ranger at 11th level, like you said, Dan, like, even
This
if
is
you
unlimited uses. If you made it, if you gave it a limited amount of uses, maybe you can give it double attacks.
Yeah. Well, because like
That's a
the
good
thing is that
point.
you're like 11th level, right? Making an attack against like one attack against all creatures within 5 feet of you. Let's say this is optimized and you hit 8 creatures, right?
Yeah,
Like, how much damage are you doing on
4
on
times as
average,
much as you normally would have.
right? You can do that, or you can do a 30-foot cone fireball at 11 levels of Drake Warden.
Yep, and Fireball is better, but that's why it's S tier. This one's more balanced.
Yes.
But that's actually an argument I think in favor of it. Wouldn't be that broken because we have
Okay.
AOE's of other forms.
All right. Well, let's read the 15th level feature. It is your choice of one of 3 abilities, and each of them comes from a different class. Actually, two of them come from the same class. So evasion, you know what evasion is. It's a dex save to take only half damage. You can take 0 or half on a
That's
failure.
great.
So that's really good. It's one of Rogue's best features. And then Uncanny
They get them
Dodge
a
is
bit
one of
earlier.
Rogue's other really good features. You can
They get them a bit earlier.
yeah, exactly. You do get them a bit earlier. You can have
they
the
get
attacks
both.
damage against you. Or you can choose Stand Against the Tide, which I believe this is where actually now that I think about it, this is probably where it originates, but I believe that Treachery Paladin also gets this ability. When a hostile creature misses you with a melee attack, you can use your reaction to force that creature to repeat the same attack against another creature other than itself of your choice. I like this as an ability just because it does encourage you to be surrounded by people, which I like the Horde Breaker archetype, and I almost wish that it was a little stronger even, because as is, like, it's still pretty good, but you're basically sacrificing all of your single target ability to build in the direction of like fighting a lot of targets. So if you're fighting, sorry, you can go on.
I'm just saying that this has everything it needs to be an insane Horde Breaker class, except for the fact that Ranger does not inherently have a way to increase the damage of each individual attack,
Right,
like something
exactly.
like a Paladin Smite / improved Divine Smite. With Whirlwind Attack, it would be improved Divine Smiting everything. Stuff like that. Barbarians have Rage that increases the damage of each of their attacks. I don't know. Shit like that. Rangers don't really have that. The only thing you have is you could take Great Weapon Fighting and Heavy Attack every person near you.
Oh,
which
you know
is
what,
good.
actually,
But
Whirlwind Attack also actually low-key does synergize with Hordebreaker because you can make an extra attack. Because this has a weapon attack, not attack action.
True. That's
So
great.
you get a bonus, you get a freebie. So you know
even
what?
more
a little
attacks.
bit better. More attacks, always good.
Yeah.
This is the kind of thing that would be like really fun to play if you were only fighting like hordes, right?
You can
If
still
you were
attack. That means with Whirlwind Attack and Hordebreaker, you can still attack one target twice and the rest of them once.
Yep.
So yeah, actually, that's pretty good. Pretty good.
That's great. Or that's perfectly great all on its own. I don't think it needs any buffs, to be honest. I think Ranger itself is the weak
Ranger
link
does
here.
need buffs. I mean, you do get Steel Wind Strike now, so you actually do have that option as well.
It's 17th level.
At 17th level.
I hardly think that's a buff.
Not really. Okay, so how do we think about Hunter?
Let me look at the tier list. Can I see the tier? The thing is,
Okay.
Oh,
So-
I have thoughts.
So I feel like it is not really that much stronger than Beastmaster.
are you sure it's stronger than Beastmaster?
I don't think it is the thing,
Well,
right?
The thing is, but
think it's-
Beastmaster was something that I wanted to put in A tier.
True.
But and Ranger could take its place. But like, sorry, whatever the fuck.
It's so funny that we
It does-
call this
doesn't it-
subclass Ranger.
Doesn't it kind of feel like
I hate
Hunter
this
should be
name.
just like base Ranger features?
No. Oh god. Anyway, its power level, Hordebreaker. Good. It's good. But again, it's not focus firing. We've talked about how not focus firing isn't quite as good as just getting another attack on that main target.
Yes,
Compare
but
that to Beastmaster, which is another attack, but you can focus it on the same target.
to be fair though, because of the way that that Hordebreaker and Whirlwind attack work, it isn't really like you're not focus firing. It's just that you just get extra attacks on anything around you.
Okay, well, let's look at level 1 through 10.
Okay.
Level 1 through 10, I think Hunter is directly worse than Beastmaster. And a lot less utility, like 0 utility as opposed to a lot of utility.
Yes.
Because in terms of damage, Beastmaster just has more single target damage. And Hordebreaker, and it also has more AoE damage if it chooses to split its attacks up. There's nothing Hunter does that Beastmaster doesn't do better until 11th level. At 11th level, Hunter comes ahead in AoE.
Yep. I feel like I am totally on board with moving Beastmaster up and putting Hunter in its place.
Yeah. Okay.
You beat me to my argument, Stan.
You're gonna say the same things.
I was gonna point out the fact that with even until the AoE, Beastmaster is basically
It's just better and it gives you hit points.
In particular, because I was like, well, you probably want to be ranged as Beastmaster, you probably want to be melee as Hunter, but you still get a body in melee as Beastmaster, and you get a body as ranged as Beastmaster. Whereas Hunter, it's
Hunter, it's just your poor fleshy body.
Yeah.
But Hunter is definitely not a bad subclass.
No, and so that's why, like, because initially I was like, are they both B tier? I didn't really want to put Hunter in C. I think this is a good compromise.
No, I think Hunter's better than average.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's on the better side of average.
For sure.
All right, let's talk about Monster Slayer. So this is in Xanathar's, and you seek to slay vampires, dragons, evil fae, fiends, and other magical threats. At 3rd level, you get your magics. You get perfection from good and evil. It's pretty good. Zone of Truth.
Pretty bad.
Magic Circle. Banishment. Banishment is really good. And Hold Monster. So those are pretty good spells.
I do think getting Banishment at 13th level is...
It's a little late. It is a little late. But, I mean, they're Rangers.
This is not the best. This is not an amazing spell list.
Okay, but it's also just like, in general, half-caster spell lists are always going to be a little underwhelming because they only go up to 5th level.
I definitely call this underwhelming.
I do think the 3rd level one is good, but the thing is, then you have 10 levels or 9 levels of getting nothing useful until Banishment. But Banishment
until you get something too late.
Yeah, but Banishment at least is something that can still be used at high levels. As well as Hold Monster. Those are actually very much fitting the same niche. It's almost like they're both against otherworldly monsters.
Yeah, all right.
How about that?
Let's see. At 3rd level, you gain the ability to peer at a creature and magically discern how best to hurt it. As an action, choose one creature you can see within 60 feet of you. You immediately learn whether the creature has any damage, immunities, resistances, or vulnerabilities, and what they are. If the creature is hidden with divination magic, you can sense it. You sense that it has no damage, immunities, resistances, or vulnerabilities. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your wisdom modifier. You gain all expended uses of it when you finish a long rest. For all
I wish the range was a little longer.
So yeah, I was gonna say, for all of the really bad sensing spells or abilities in the game, like Paladin's like Divine Sight or whatever, and other similar abilities, I think this is probably the best of them, just because it tells you immunities, vulnerabilities, resistances, and that's useful.
Your spellcasters will love you.
This is also like it's one of those things that is like obviously potentially useful if you're searching for like a creature that might be hidden of some kind, like a vampire hiding in plain sight. But obviously like a paladin.
Oh, I see.
That too.
Nice, that makes sense. That makes sense.
But
see that normal human? You don't get to know what kind they are, but if they're resistant to necrotic damage, maybe.
No, it tells you what they are, Dan.
It does?
Yeah, it's like the last bit of that sentence. So if, for instance, you sense somebody within 60 feet of you, and they are, instead of being a human being, are a sentient ooze taking the shape of a human being, you would know that.
Well, thank God.
But where does it say that?
Right here.
Because I'm looking at the
No. Sorry. it.
Oh no, I see what you
Yeah.
mean. I see what you mean. No, you're right.
I had to reread it as well. English language is hard. Never mind.
Ugh.
You just learn.
You just learn immunities, whatever.
Yeah.
That's what I
mean,
thought.
it's still useful. Potentially. It does take an action. It's pretty hard to use in combat, though.
Okay, I see how you got confused.
Yes, I got very confused. So,
no, but I still think it's useful. It's useful. See, are they resistant to fire damage? Yada yada. But like, it's not something you're going to use in combat.
no, it takes an action.
Oh, but it was just a bonus action.
I mean, that being said, you're a ranger. What are you using an action for anyway? Attacking?
yeah, maybe this is all you're good for.
Right? Maybe you should just leave that to the fighter, huh, bud?
Wow. What to say it in the most asshole way possible? But the amount of pretentious, oozy energy that came out of your mouth just now.
I think it was perfectly appropriate. Maybe it wasn't appropriate. Let's keep reading.
Especially because they said
Oh,
fighter. No bias here.
Yeah.
Starting at 3rd level, you can focus your ire on one foe, increasing the harm you inflict on it. Man, there's so many of these abilities in the ranger subclass set.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Hunter's Mark.
As a bonus action, you designate one creature within 60 feet of you as the target of this feature. The first time each turn that you hit that target with a weapon attack, it takes an extra 1d6 damage from the weapon. The benefit lasts until you finish a short or long rest. It ends early if you designate a different creature. So it's infinite.
But and your following turn, you can Hunter's Mark them.
Exactly, and they stack. I was thinking that too. I was like, that's a lot of investment, but I mean, yes.
In fact, actually, neither will have a comparable duration. If you're just stalking someone, you could Hunter Sense them, and you're not in combat yet. Then you prep a Hunter's Mark on them, and you're not in combat yet. Then you prep a Slayer's Prey on them. You're not in combat. Then you just fucking let loose.
I mean, you have to be within 60 feet of the
I
creature,
know.
though.
If they were longer, it would be great. But 60 feet is 60 feet is at that range where it is difficult to sneak up on people, but still possible, though, I think.
And you thought we liked rangers. We want to like rangers.
No, we don't.
I want to like rangers.
I think I want them to be good.
That
No,
would be
I think this does fit a niche of if you can sneak up on something, you can really prep for destruction on it.
Yeah, if you can set up on somebody, like for instance,
And
if you're
fits
having
this subclass's fantasy.
if you're having a friendly chat with the king of the country and you just like start buffing and debuffing in front, it is like
front of him?
Hunter's Mark, Serea Prey, Mark for Death.
Hunter's Mark.
All you have to do is focus your ire on him. Maybe he just thinks you're a little peeved.
Right, you just look really angry, and then it's like, excuse me, is something wrong? And your party member's like, sorry, he's just got a resting bitch face.
Oh my god, I do think this fits the Monster Slayer.
I think it does.
Conclave
Yeah.
perfectly.
This is, I do want to mention, it is worse than Hunter's Mark because it's only the first attack on each turn. So once you get multi-attack, it's slightly more annoying.
Yes, that's true. But it is not concentration, so you can do both.
Yes, you can.
You can in fact do both.
And if you would probably, if you had to do it in combat, you'd start with Hunter's Mark, and your following turn, you're not using your bonus action for anything, so you might as well Slayer's Prey them.
Yeah,
that's extra damage.
It is 1d6 more damage per turn.
Once per turn, yes. It is not very much.
So I
wish it was more.
We laughed pretty hard at the 1d4 psychic.
The 1d4 psychic, yeah.
Right?
But that one didn't take a bonus action. The 1d8 we laughed hard at because it was
a bonus action. This is 1d6, so slightly more, but takes one bonus action once, so slightly worse. But
then the following turns, you get no bonus action.
Instead of a free 1d4, you get a free 1d6.
Yeah.
It's really not very good.
No, it's not amazing. It's
to
thematic, but it's not amazing.
When you put the math on it like that, it's not good.
It to me has too many conditions for an ability that is not that stellar and doesn't scale at all.
Because you're only going to be using this if you already have done Hunter's Mark. Because you can't have two Hunter's Marks.
Like again, right? It clashes really hard with Hunter's Mark because it's a bonus action. And obviously it doesn't have a duration on it. You can cast both of them. But like it's a lot of prep time. It's a lot of setup. And if you're already in the midst of combat, which a lot of the times you really are going to be, you can struggle to find some use for it. And like it's just like the greatest sin of this ability, right? Is that it basically is just Hunter's Mark. Like it's like half of a Hunter's Mark that you can put on top of a Hunter's Mark. And
they shouldn't have made it once per turn. They should just let it do
they
every
should,
time.
yeah, they should have just let it ride because like you're only making 2 attacks a turn anyway. Who gives a shit, right?
Yeah.
But also like there are so many abilities in the game attached to so many different classes that are this, but just unconditional extra damage. So like, why? Just give them the unconditional extra damage.
You know, Zealot Barbarian gets
Exactly. Zealot Barbarian over here with this fucking Chad flex. It's like I can only do it once per turn, but it has
1d6
plus half my Barbarian level.
Just an absolutely nuts scaling.
Yeah. So like yes, if you set up, it can be potentially strong, but it's really finicky to set up. At 7th level, you whenever the target of your Slayer's Prey forces you to make a saving throw, and whenever you make an ability check to escape that target's grapple, add 1d6 to your roll. So if you have marked a creature, you have 1d6 to saving throws, and also it's harder to get grappled.
This does make it worth it. If there's ever a boss monster, you will 100% Slayer's Prey them.
I mean, yes. You'll probably do that before your Hunter's Mark.
Yeah, that point, yeah. The priority changes. Even if it's a dragon, Slayer's Prey. If it's a Lich, Slayer's Prey. Anything that could even slightly make you make a slaving throw, Slayer's Prey it. And that's actually pretty good. Just getting advantage. What is it? Advantage on your saving throws. Oh, okay. I mean, that's about 3.5 bonus. That's good.
Yeah, it's like a free bardic inspiration, a free low level bardic
advantage averages like about 5.
It stacks with advantage, which is actually significant.
Yeah. So like that's not terrible. It is a very defensive ability for a class that as we can see has some pretty shit offense.
I do think its other things are bad, but this is a good feature.
Yeah, this is a good feature. There's no doubt about that. But again, it's like this is what I feel.
Especially because you're hunting one monster.
This is what I feel about any defensive feature on a ranger, which is that the defensive features usually tend to be pretty strong, actually. But like what you do while you're still alive,
a reason to kill you.
Yeah, right. What you do while you're alive feels like so inconsequential that like really is an enemy, even if it's even remotely intelligent, will it actually target you at all?
Yeah.
Like what are you exactly doing to pose any kind of threat? Like what can you do to draw aggro as a ranger? Because you get a lot of defensive abilities. I mean, this one obviously is more broadly useful just because like it's saving throws, which means any AoE you get caught up in, any fear effects or anything, spells, like all that kind of stuff. Pretty Gucci.
Assuming you went before them and got your bonus action on them.
Right.
And then they're the ones that make you make the save. It's like even more niche than the other saving throws, but it's a D6 instead of advantage, which actually can be better, but it
can be better.
But even on the second turn, it's still good to do it.
But it's like straight up worse than Indomitable.
That's true.
It's pretty bad. Okay, at 11th level, you gain the ability to thwart someone else's magic. When you see a creature casting a spell or teleporting within 60 feet of you, you can use your reaction to try to magically foil it. The target must succeed on a Wisdom saving throw against your spell save DC, or its spell or teleport fails and is wasted. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish.
I hate it.
It's great.
Why? So this feature is hilarious, and I actually almost like it. I wish there wasn't a cooldown on it.
Yeah. Well, then you can endlessly.
But who gives a shit?
They didn't feel like giving rangers a mega counterspell more than once per short rest.
Like the thing is that like yeah, sure, it gives you like one more turn, but like at least an amount equal to your wisdom modifier, right? Like once? Are you serious?
Wait, an amount equal to your wisdom modifier counterspells? 5? No, that would be
insane.
That would be so fucking broken, Josh.
Well, that said, this is not quite as good as it seems because it's a saving throw.
And a monster might have a quite high saving throw.
Yeah,
wisdom save. It's a wisdom.
Might have very low.
Right, it's a wisdom saving throw for a creature that can cast spells.
Yeah.
Right, and it's
at 11th level. Monsters that are a threat might have there's a decent chance they might have legendary resistance.
Legendary resistances too. Also,
most of them probably just don't still, but like when they do, you're just like, oh great, this is useless.
Right, it's like you get to use it, and then like they're probably gonna succeed, or if they fail, they're gonna use their legendary resistance, and then you just can't use it again, and they just leave.
How likely are you to have high wisdom in this class?
I mean, what are you gonna do?
You had
with,
no reason.
You've no
to do
reason
it
to
before.
pump Dex.
Hunter Sense can be used up to Wisdom modifier, but that's no reason to do it. Like you're never gonna use Hunter Sense more than like once or twice per rest. So this hunter would just pump Dex and just be auto attacky, just like I attack twice, because that's what Rangers can do.
Unless they have some crazy good ranger spell that I don't know about, then
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
not likely.
I mean,
so the DC
Protection
might
from
not be
evil.
mega high.
Protection from Evil and Good is their only good Ranger spell till 13th level, and it doesn't require Wisdom.
Yeah. All right, at
doesn't
15th
matter what your
level, you
wisdom
gain the
is.
ability to counterattack when your prey tries to sabotage you. I actually really like this ability. If the target of your Slayer's prey forces you to make a saving throw, you can use your reaction to make one weapon attack against the quarry. You make this
If they're
attack immediately
melee?
before making the saving
Oh.
throw. If
Oh,
the
you can do it
attack
from
hits,
range,
your
actually.
save automatically succeeds, in addition to the attack's normal effects.
Whoa,
Ooh.
that's really cool.
So I love this ability. I think it's
That's sick.
really
you
cool.
like jump out of the way of the fireball and fire off an arrow right before it hits, and then because you hit your arrow, you manage to completely.
It just like
dodge the
doesn't
fire.
fucking hit you.
You still take out damage. I guess.
Yeah, but you dodged it.
You
You
look
know.
really cool
But
doing
then
it.
But if the enemy tries to do some like dominate person, you could shoot them in the face with an arrow before
So
it goes off.
this
and-
absolutely you are using a bow. You generally have to be within 60 feet because of Slayer's Prey.
which is fine.
Which is fine. Like it's whatever. And like I think you only have to be within 60 feet to initially target someone.
Wait, hold on.
If those were 90 feet, I'd love it even more. But 60 feet's fine.
Yeah. And to be clear, Slayer's counter works regardless of what, as long as you can hit
Yes.
them with the weapon. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
yes,
So all that is pretty solid.
it's actually so good. They're gonna dominate person you. Nuh-uh, get shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? That's what it feels like. It feels like
But why would they dominate person you when there's a torn in the party though?
in general, it feels like as rangers tend to get like pretty strong defensive abilities just to keep a warm body on the field. I mean, we've talked about how strong action economy is, and that's not something to like necessarily downplay, right? Even if you can't really do as much damage as anybody, like this is like supernatural defense, Slayer's counter, like these are really good abilities, especially for higher level creatures where sometimes their spell save DCs are really high, right?
There is some
like
anti-synergy though with Slayer's counter and
with
Super
supernatural
Sense
defense. Yeah, I
against-
know.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you don't have your reaction, you can. It still applies, right? So it's supernatural
that's
defense
true.
becomes your backup ability, right? Like imagine if someone tries
Yeah.
to psychic scream you, and all you have to do is hit them with an attack, and you don't get hit by the psychic scream's insta giga stun.
What I like is
Wait, that would be huge. Hold on.
it would be amazing.
Oh.
Even
the
the,
value of
even
this
just
goes
getting
up
it
the
to
the
make-
stronger the creature is.
Even just getting to make an attack is always good.
Yeah. At the very least, you get one. Well, I mean, it would be if you weren't a ranger.
Also, you
But
get the 1d6 damage for Slayer's Prey because it's a different turn.
Huge.
Oh, you're right.
God, yeah. The fact that this instead changes rolling against their spell save DC into rolling against their AC.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
That's so much-
it's insanely good scaling. Like devastatingly good. It would have really helped us last session.
Yeah.
But level 1 through 14, though, I think this thing's pretty shit tier.
Yeah.
I agree so hard.
I think this is a D tier class. Again.
I think so. I think
Same.
so.
We don't want to put it F because we like that last one.
Last one
Yeah,
was really,
and
really good.
I can't give it a C tier, no.
But no, it's like it. Even considering how good Slayer's counter is, like
too
everything up
late.
until it is so bad.
Well,
Okay. Well, let's do. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think Primeval Guardian is only an Arthur Arcana. So let's take a look.
only 2 left.
Wait, is Primeval Guardian just what Beastmaster became? Hold on, I have to look this up. Primal Companion, not. Oh, I remember what this is. Yeah, okay. So you follow an ancient tradition rooted in powerful druidic magic. You learn to become one with nature, and you channel the aspects of various beasts and plants in order to overcome your foes. You become the animal companion. Only one F tier. Yeah. So that's the thing, right, man? Is that we're ranking the Rangers against each other. If it was all Rangers in general, most of them would be F tier.
Yeah,
compared to other classes.
Exactly. This is just a Rangers versus Rangers.
Okay. So let's see. The spells you get are Entangle. Is this good? Oh, it's a Restrain.
I do like Entangle.
Oh no, Entangle is really good.
Oh no, it's bad. Do you want to know why it's bad?
Why?
Because you get it as a ranger anyway.
Oh. Okay, Entangle is a good spell though, but you're right.
Yeah, it's good, but on top of what Sean says, you have so many spells to choose from that are all garbage. You're probably gonna take Entangle anyway.
Yeah. Entangle is a good spell though because it is not a saving throw. When you get entangled by it, it's an action to use your ability check to unrestrain yourself, and restrain is a strong condition. So, a little bit of justice for Entangle. Rangers, good job. You get one good spell. Enhance ability is really probably pretty bad. I don't remember that being good at all. Conjure animals. I mean, you're not a shepherd druid, but I guess you can do it. Giant insect. What is this spell?
Conjure animals is still a strong spell.
Oh, I remember this spell.
Wait, don't Rangers already get some of these?
Let me see. Third level spells. They do not get giant insect.
They get conjure animals,
but they get conjure animals. So
giant insect is the 4th level or 5th.
They also get enhance abilities.
If you click on giant insect, it'll say
okay. No, they don't get it.
Yeah, look on the bottom of giant insect. It says spell.
Okay, yeah. The 4th level, the giant insect, the insect plague, they don't get. The other 3, they already get as a hunter, as a ranger.
That's pretty. You transform into giant.
So that's kind of brutal. This is that's kind of a terrible spell list. Then
it's not you transform into insects. You transform insects.
What?
You take 10 centipedes, 3 spiders, 5 wasps, or 1 scorpion, and you make them the big versions of those things.
Yucky.
I
have never seen this spell be cast.
Me neither.
I'm glad.
You can essentially as a 4th level spell, you can summon a giant scorpion. Or maybe it's better to summon one of the other ones, but I don't know. I wouldn't. It's not that strong.
How powerful?
4th level spell, it's not that strong.
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah, let me just pull some alive spiders from my reagents pouch. It's Tyler's worst nightmare. Anyway,
I was wondering if giant centipedes are powerful. They have 4 hit points each. So
okay,
amazing.
Good to know. So yeah,
that's nuts right there.
This is not a great spell list. In fact, it's almost. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and say
worst.
I'm not even gonna consider this spell list. Yeah, what a shame. There's an empty spell page. Yeah.
But you know what? Other hunters didn't get a spell list, so this is better than Hunter. Hunter didn't get any.
Hunter didn't get any spells. It's true. Mm-hmm. At 3rd level, you gain the ability to temporarily grow and take on the appearance of a tree-like person covered with leaves and bark. As a bonus action, you assume this guardian form, which lasts until you end it as a bonus action, or until you are incapacitated. It's kind of annoying. Your size becomes large unless you were larger. Any speed you have becomes 5 feet unless the speed was lower. Your reach increases by 5 feet, and you gain a number of temporary hit points at the start of each of your turns, which equals half your ranger level. When the form ends, you lose any temporary hit points you have from it. Kind of eh. And then once on each of your turns, also at 3rd level, you can deal an additional 1d6 piercing damage to one creature you hit with a weapon attack. Oh my god! Unconditional extra damage! Oh boy!
Well, it's one more damage than the 1d4.
Yeah, and it's not a bonus
once
action.
Per turn.
Yeah, exactly.
I do think not just unconditional is good, but
okay. At 7th level, your hit point maximum and current hit points increases by 2 per ranger level when you assume your guardian form.
The tough feat.
God, you get tough, but it's conditional.
Conditional tough.
This increase lasts until you leave the form. Your hit point maximum then returns to normal, but your current hit points remain the same. That's nice. Unless they
good.
must decrease to abide by your hit point maximum. That's nice so that you don't end up in a
Yeah.
situation where you have 1 hit point and then losing the larger hit point
Yeah.
capacity.
Yeah.
Makes you
At
unconscious.
7th level, this is 14 health. You get 14 health from that.
Okay, 14 health plus your 3 temporary HP that you get at the start of
Per
each of your
turn.
turns. So that's like
Great.
15 effective hit points on turn 1. That's actually
But you
really
can't
bad.
move.
And you can't
You're-
move.
Yeah, you can move 5 whole feet.
5 whole feet. Your reach
I-
increases by 10 feet, but I think you're going to be using a ranged weapon anyway.
This is
not
this.
for-
No. I think the reach is there in case you want to do melee, but I think the melee is a trap.
The
with
melee
this.
is easily a trap. What do you
Ah.
like?
You're a
Imagine.
turret.
I was gonna say, imagine if you're fighting a boss and you just become a tree next to him. And he's like, "What the fuck?" And you just keep swinging your sword like.
That's the best part.
Yeah, but what if they walk away?
They would never.
A boss would never walk away like a coward.
You would have to use your bonus action to end your form,
What else are you gonna do with
to
your
lose
bonus
your
action?
health, to lose all your features, to walk at him.
Oh, no.
Melee is a fucking trap. You have to do ranged with this thing.
Oh, God. Okay. At 11th level, you gain the ability to twist and turn the ground beneath you. While you are in Guardian form, the ground within 30 feet of you is difficult terrain for your enemies. Great. Now
Well,
it's
I
even
mean-
harder to hit people.
That's why it's a turret. That means that's actually kind of insane. 30 feet? That means no enemy will ever be able to reach you if they try to get you on
And
they're
you
from the
won't
outside.
ever reach an enemy.
No one can run away from your melee tree form.
Oh my god, they can easily run away from it. They have 30 feet of movement. They'll walk away 15 feet, and now you can't reach them.
You can move 5 feet toward them, and then you've got 10 feet
Oh
of reach.
my God. Wait. We can't talk about this now. At 15th
No, but they're
level.
already 5 feet away, so
Hold on.
then they're gonna be 20 feet away, and you will be 5 feet off, and you won't
At-
quite be able to reach.
At 15th level, when an ally starts their turn within 30 feet of your Guardian form, they regain a number of hit points equal to half your Ranger level. This aura has no effect on a creature that has half or more of its hit points and has no effect on undead and
So garbage.
constructs. This
I
is
told you.
This is such an F tier class.
This is such an FJ
It's
class.
so garbage.
Just quality. Hold on. Okay, there's actually a really funny mechanic here, unless I'm wrong. How I don't know if it can save it from F tier. But is there a limitation on how many times you can Guardian Soul?
No.
Because every time you go into it, your hit point maximum and current hit points
Just
increase.
heal yourself back up to full.
Yes, every
Wait.
single time you do this,
You're
Oh my
right.
God.
you
You're right.
regain hit points equal to twice your current level. Now, the annoying caveat is I was like, you can do that every turn.
No,
you can't. You can do it every other turn.
The other turn. Oh. Great. I guess out of combat you can regenerate. Photosynthesis.
No, every 2 turns you can just D-tree form and then re-tree form.
Okay, so
But not
let's
in the
hold
same
on.
turn.
Let
Not
us
in the same turn.
I mean, to be fair, if we were to extrapolate this at 20th level, that's 40 hit points per turn, or per every other turn, which is 20 hit points per turn. That's still really bad. That's still really bad.
Let's say you're at your max HP is like 160 and I don't fucking know. And then you're at 1 hit point. At the start of your turn, you transform to a tree, and you're now at 41 health with 200 max health. And then your next turn,
You know
you
what?
exit it, and then the following turn, you go another. Oh, but your current HP, does it go up?
Your current HP goes
Okay.
up.
So
So then you can heal 40. So you can heal yourself 40 HP every other turn.
Yes.
Or if you just sit in Guardian form at 15th level, how much do you heal? If you're below half,
none. You don't get any hit points.
10.
But you gain
No.
temporary hit points
Oh.
equal to
Oh,
Equal to
wow.
half your Ranger
I
level.
see. So you would
10
regain
temporary HP. But
10
you might
and
as
then 10 again.
So it's like
but it's more
25
efficient
HP
to
per
do your
turn.
thing where you pop out.
yeah.
So okay.
And the best part is every time you do that, you
Keep the temp HP.
every single time. True.
Oh,
every time
no.
you do that,
No,
like,
when the form ends, you lose any temp HP.
oh, they
Oh
thought of
god.
that.
So
God.
okay.
Also, all the bonuses you get from this, which are not that many, mind you, is like every other turn, the ground within 30 feet of you is difficult terrain. Like it's so
This-
clunky.
Okay, here's the thing. This ability is so bad, or this subclass is so bad, and one of the reasons it's really bad is because there's such an easy fix to make it like actually not necessarily good but fun, right? Because as is, it's really really boring. On top, like it's like on top of being really
I think
bad.
Sean likes this class.
My favorite
No.
ranger.
But here's the thing: is imagine if you had this ranger, right? You had all of these abilities, and then they gave you Armor of Agathis. They gave you Fire Shield.
Oh.
Like suddenly the class becomes a lot more fun, doesn't it?
Well, yeah.
They do need fire shield. It's a tree though.
Yeah.
No, it's,
But
listen, it'd be pretty cool.
You're not resistant to any sort of ranged attacks. But in any case, I think the only thing this class does that's okay is it just sits in the back like 300 feet away. I'm a tree. Fuck you. And just middle fingers everyone because they can't reach them, nor would they bother because you just keep healing.
This is like
And-
if in World of Warcraft you played a shaman but you became any totem you summoned.
You are really hard to kill and really hard to do it. You just don't do anything. The best thing you could actually do is do that thing where you just fuck off in the back, but you just conjure animals and just send them out to the front line for you.
Yeah.
I think you all vastly underestimate the ability of the melee tree. If you get a reach weapon, it goes up in reach.
And just constantly healing. It's not like you're gonna get deleted in one turn.
Yeah, exactly.
God, it's like the thing is you don't.
It fucks over your enemy.
It gets okay. So you get
Oh.
HP, right? But you don't get any like damage reduction in any meaningful way.
No.
You just get more. You're just a bigger bag of hit points. Which like yeah, but also like there's no reason people would attack you because like the ground within 30 feet of you is difficult terrain for your enemies. If you were okay. You know what? I think the use case is you like literally run into a group of enemies and then you just slap down your fucking turret for them,
Yeah.
and now they can't run away from you, and you just hit them with a glaive.
It's super annoying. Yeah, it's like the most irritating
worst.
possible. Oh my god, it's my
11th
favorite.
level.
Oh,
It's such a
11th level is when
garbage.
they
It's
can
so garbage.
11th level is when they can finally not just ignore you. Because then they're like, oh goddamn, I guess if we kill the tree, the
Right,
roots
it's
go.
like the dumbest way of drawing aggro ever. They're like, fine.
oh my god, that's
Well,
why it's the best. You can
you
drop
don't
it
have
in
any way.
now.
You don't have any way of increasing your AC besides just having armor, I guess.
Yeah, no, it's like you get more.
What's your armor going to be at most? 17?
like
With 5
18
dex?
if you take a feat to increase your medium armor proficiency to master.
This basically gives you a D12 hit die plus a little bit of passive healing. Like you're by no means the tankiest class out there with this.
On a ranged
Yeah,
class, that's
it's
kind of
really-
But like
worthless.
Bad.
on the other hand, like what else are you gonna do as a ranger anyway? Go be the meat shield you always wanted to be.
Be a
I don't think
sack
they
of it,
want
but
to be.
just play a
Oh.
druid, honestly. At that
No, that's-
point,
I've never known what people want when they play ranger. To be honest, I figured this might be one of the things.
no. Okay,
Well-
so here's the thing. When I in my mind, right? And this does not necessarily correlate to the role Rangers actually play in Dungeons and Dragons, but in my mind, Rangers should be the de facto debuff class. They should be like
What?
a debuff control class. They should make like Hunter's
That's
Mark.
bards.
What? Well, okay, bards are like the control class, IMO. And certain bards do get debuffs, you're right. But I feel like Rangers should be a class where it is like you're essentially a DPS support hybrid where like the things that you do make it easier for the things for like the people on your team to do things. Just play a druid. This conclusion. Yeah, pretty much. Honestly, like Rangers are like that old the idea that melee is a trap, but it's an entire class.
I mean, if just play druid, sure, but like there are a few of the subclasses here. Like Gloomstalker is great.
Gloomstalker is really good,
And
it's
druids
actually a
aren't
competitive like melee martial class.
The power level of druid subclasses generally isn't actually that high either.
Mhm.
They have the moon druid / mechanical druid that are straight good melee. Star druid is good.
I feel
But
like
besides those three, like Druid doesn't really do that much special.
the primary utility ranger no longer fits how D&D is played. I mean, that's true, right? People play D&D like mostly like a combat simulator, but ranger was made for an era when D&D was like, I want to survive in the jungle against the savage people's class.
I mean, D&D, you can always, it just depends on your party, I guess.
I mean, yes, it will depend on the game.
You're referring to
And-
as mainstream D&D, I guess.
Thematically, right? If you read the theming of Ranger, it's very clear that this is the class that's meant to guide the party through the harsh wildernesses, and that is the environment that it's
Right.
that it's
The
originally
problem-
well suited for.
So the
guess
problem
so,
with
yeah, that's
Rangers
true.
is that a lot of their class features ended up being for that exploration aspect of the game, which one isn't really how a lot of people play the game anymore. Obviously, like some people still do play that. But like it's like features like, oh, you can move at a quick pace while hidden from enemies, right? It's stuff to make the exploration portion of the game bearable. Right? You have to have a ranger or this stuff sucks. Or you could just not play that part of the game, which most people don't.
Or I actually like Evan's take as well, which is that if
It makes it boring.
If your campaign is primarily exploration survival, then it sucks because it's trivialized.
Wait, you're right. All the interest goes away. Everything becomes as if those mechanics never existed. You
just
don't
delete-
engage with them anymore. You're completely
Rangers
correct.
return the campaign to the norm.
So
They're like, oh, exploration? No
Yeah.
exploration.
You're completely right. Rangers literally take a portion of the game that might be interesting and they just elide it. They're like,
Because they
actually
make it so
nobody
if they
wants to play
automatically
this.
succeed at anything. It's not interesting the way they did it. But if they made it any worse, it would be worthless.
Wait,
So they
and
tried
it's
to make
like
it too good. And it's just
even
not.
as is,
So,
it's like boring. It's like potentially
yeah.
let's say 9 times out of 10 is really not that strong. And like
Okay, but
everyone else in the game gets combat features.
Back to Primeval Guardian, I will say, for some of the spellcasting classes that we've rated, when they have an ability to keep themselves alive, I rate it very highly because they can do a lot when they're alive.
Exactly.
This ranger cannot really do a lot when they're alive, and also this guardian's still sure its hit points, but you can't run away anymore. Once they approach you, you're fucked. Like, it actually screws you over a bit with that 5 foot of movement speed. If the enemy just runs at you, it's like, oh fuck. Do you stay there and just have hit points, and they're gonna eat through those hit points?
Do you know what they should have
instantly.
given them this class? They should have given it Misty Step.
yes.
Can you imagine? That'd be so fucking funny.
Oh, it'd be such a defiance of expectations. Oh my god. Or the
Oh
tree.
god, where did this tree come from?
Oh my god. Listen, Dan, and when they approach me and I'm in my tree form, I say yes. This is exactly what I wanted with my life.
They're gonna set you on fire and you're gonna die instantly.
My time has come.
You are approaching me. You are going to be slowed to half movement speed. I will be mailing you from
Only
afar.
11th
It's like-
level though.
Like at 11th level, everything is difficult terrain. Like we haven't really talked about how like kind of
it's a huge radius.
awful of an ability that is for 11th level, and like this feels like a 3rd level feature.
No, that's arguably the best one.
It's arguably the best one, but your
Yes,
party is going to
but-
hate you.
Nope. Only difficult terrain for your enemies.
Oh,
Okay, that's good.
true. That is actually.
Then your
right, that is
meleeers
better.
were like you. But the thing is, I think 1 through 10, this is horrendous, and that 11th level
Doesn't
only
make you
makes
that
it,
much
Still
better.
not even good at 11th.
Like yeah okay, so yes, like it means that when you set up in your tree form, your allies can essentially weave around the battlefield. Your enemies have a hard time getting anywhere, and if they're under half HP, they get healed a piddly amount of HP.
To be honest, the better use of this is to play at range, stay back with your casters, and they can all sit in the safety of your difficult
Of your
terrain.
difficult
with
terrain,
a
yeah.
Is
See,
yeah, exactly.
This is
what I mean.
this is the thing, right? Is that
Bubble.
like rangers fall into this problem of any way they try to specialize is just never good enough, and they're not good enough of a jack of all trades class to like be effective in any meaningful way beyond like the first sort of like lower tier level of play.
anyway.
Because like imagine if you try to build a melee ranger. We've seen that the only real viable one was the hunter, and only for really like AoE attacks, right? And the other one that works is ranged. It's the Gloomstalker, right? Because you can take Sharpshooter and you can take Element Accuracy, and that is legitimately good.
Yeah, the Gloomstalker will actually out DPS like many fighters and paladins and stuff. Just
I
because
think
how good features are.
But Gloomstalker is somewhat anomalous as far as a
Yeah.
ranger's power level goes, because they gave them like permanent invisibility in really easy to accomplish conditions at 3rd level, right?
Yep.
And if you try to build a ranger in any magical way, it's never going to work, because the spells they have access to are just bad, right? Most ranger spells, like rangers get access to a handful of pretty decent spells. Entangle is usually pretty good, especially at lower levels. But like forcing creatures to make a saving throw and then having them have to take an action to free themselves from a restrain is really strong. Goodberry is technically really good. We don't use it that often, mostly because we don't really play with the nature classes, but it is technically one of the better sources of healing outside of combat. But like aside from that, a lot of the spells that a ranger has access to, a lot of the ranger only spells are pretty underwhelming, right? Hunter's Mark, objective DPS increase, really boring though, really boring, right? Whenever they expand the ranger spell list with a subclass, they give them druid spells, and we've already talked about druid spells.
Yeah, they're all like niche and utility, but they're just low impact utility. If you
Really
want
low
actual
impact.
utility, go look at the wizard spell list.
Yeah.
Anyway,
feels like-
let's move on from
It
this.
feels like they should have given this class anything else. Anyway,
let's
My
just
favorite subclass.
Swarm Keeper.
Uh-huh.
Feeling a deep connection to the environment around them, some rangers reach out through their magical connection to the world and bond with a swarm of nature spirits.
Sure, huh?
So you can have that be swarming insects, miniature twig blights, fluttering birds, or playful pixies. Let's see. Until you die, the swarm remains in your space. Oh my god.
Die.
Crawling
Die.
on you or flying and skittering around you within your space. This is horrifying. I love it.
You live like this. You
You just
sleep
live like this. There's just fucking
this.
bees all over you. You're a bee
you
man.
eat like you eat. I hate this.
Once on each of your turns, you can cause the swarm to assist you in one of the following ways. Immediately after you hit a creature with an attack, the attack's target takes 1d6 piercing damage from the swarm. A non-conditional 1d6 damage per turn.
There's such a theme.
Per attack, not per turn.
No,
Wait,
once
no,
on
no,
each
no,
of
no,
your
no,
turns.
once.
Sorry, I was so excited. Oh, never mind. That'd be too powerful.
The attack's target must succeed on a strength saving throw against your spell save DC or be moved by the swarm to 15 feet horizontally in a direction of your choice. You are moved by the swarm 5 feet horizontally in a direction of your choice. Wait, this is awesome.
Hold on, did Matt
Thanks,
Mercer
Matthew.
write this?
What?
Yeah.
Did Matt Mercer write this?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
So
Thank
this
you,
is-
Matt.
So this is one of these. So and that won't provoke opportunity attacks for the enemy because you are being moved.
because it's forceful movement.
Ah.
So it does actually have some potential use. And it's
you have to give up your 1d6
This is-
piercing there.
this really does feel like a Matthew Mercer class because it's a lot of options for some things that are like really not impactful.
Yeah, none of
Okay.
these are that impactful at all.
At 3rd level, you learn the Mage Hand cantrip. When you cast it, the hand takes the form of your swarming nature spirits. That's nice.
That's great.
Rangers don't get cantrips usually. You also learn an additional spell at 1st level or higher when you reach certain levels. Oh, I see. Okay, you just got the extra spell list. You actually get 2 at 3rd level. You get that's right, Mage Hand.
Mage hands.
You get Fairy Fire, which is actually not a terrible spell.
Let's see if they already have it.
I
They
feel
don't.
like the answer is going to be
they
no.
don't.
Josh, if you click on the spell Fairy Fire, it'll list on the bottom.
Yes, but I have the spell list open, and it's
It
easier.
loads forever. I follow.
Yes, correct. Okay, so Fairy Fire is actually like a good like support spell,
Yeah.
right?
It's
That's
quite
actually
good.
something you might want to be doing with your action as a ranger. That's kind of crazy, isn't it?
None of these spells are on the ranger spell list.
Yeah,
Nice.
they get Web. We've
Web's
talked
really
about how
good.
good Web is. Gaseous Form is really good.
Is it? And it's not that good.
It's not that good.
It's okay if you want to fuck off and leave your party alone.
Okay, yes, gaseous form is really good, not in combat.
Arcane Eye is niche.
It's,
Insect Plague is
Not very good.
yeah, but
you know,
the first two
13th,
are great.
17th level. First
The first
three
two-
levels,
and those are the
first,
ones that
like,
matter
yeah,
the most.
for sure.
Third level and fifth level, having decent spell options there, that always is
Okay.
nice. That's
At 7th level, you can condense part of your swarm into a focused mass that lifts you up. As a bonus action, you gain a flying speed of 10 feet and can hover. It's such a little amount. The effect lasts for 1 minute or until you are incapacitated. I like
but
that you can
flying speed?
every
Okay.
turn you can move 10 feet up and you hover there. So you move 10 feet, you swoop.
I mean, this is deceptively quite strong if you
No,
are
no.
a ranged caster.
No, like 100%. This is actually really good.
Yeah, because all it takes is 10 feet up, and most melee creatures can no longer hit you.
I've never considered the fact that 10 feet is the bare minimum of flight required to be useful. But
Right.
it's actually
Yeah.
true.
But it's also
Yep.
you get a hover, which is really nice.
hover
which lets you go
only
fall.
matters if you're
If you
knocked
go-
unconscious.
yeah, whatever.
So yeah, 10 feet up. Now you are immune to a huge amount of enemies in the DMG.
Oh, never mind.
I do like that it's called Writhing Tide. That's just so gross.
Yeah.
Ew.
Everything about this class is
Roll
so
Tide.
gross. I kind of like it.
Yeah. I can't
and
believe
you-
Wizards printed this and not Matt Mercer.
I know.
you
What the
get
fuck?
You get a good number of uses too.
Okay. Yeah, equal to proficiency bonus, and you get them all back on a long rest. Like this.
That's plenty.
This is really solid. Especially because like, if you're not really gonna be in melee range, you're gonna be using a bow. I mean, a ranger. I feel like the class fantasy of a ranger is you play with a bow, so
Yeah.
that makes sense. You can cast magic.
Ooh.
Fairy fire is really solid. Web is really solid. You actually get access to fucking decent spells for a goddamn change.
Half cover is +2 AC and +2 to Dex saving throws. By the way, for this 11th level feature.
Oh, okay. So damage of gathered swarm increases to 1d8. Wow, an unconditional 1d8.
One more damage than a 1d6. Amazing.
If a creature fails its saving throw against being moved by the gathered swarm, you can also cause the swarm to knock the creature prone.
Yeah, but
That's so funny.
but you're better off being a ranged.
You're better
caster,
off.
so
Yeah,
that's-
you're better off not.
You can move it away from you and knock it prone, so you now have disadvantage on your range.
When you're moved by gathered swarm, it gives you half cover.
Right.
This is the one you're going to be using.
the last one.
Yeah.
Giving yourself half cover is quite nice.
Super strong. Yeah.
I do like that the swarm can attack enemies even if you shoot them from 600 feet away,
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
and then
There's no
move
range
and then
on it.
move them and knock them. Like, geez, these are some fast bugs.
They really
you shoot,
are.
You shoot an arrow and you shoot it like as a volley, just like through the air, and then on the surface of the ground, there's centipedes just zooming at the speed of sound.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Objectively, Drake Warden or Gloomstalker is like the choice to pick if you're gonna play a ranger. But like, I would be hard pressed not to pick this class.
Oh god. Oh, I would not allow this in my campaign. So gross. I don't
Okay.
like it.
And at 15th level,
How good though is once
What?
per it is just getting half cover. You might be able to just do that every turn, right? Would
Yeah.
you take that over doing an additional 1d8?
Depends on how close enemies are and
guess
how
so.
ranged they
depends.
are.
Yeah, I would say I like that it's flexible. You can choose depending on what you're fighting. If you're not
I
really
just
under
think
threat,
neither is that impactful. To be
Not
neither is
honest.
that impactful. But if you're fighting like a creature, if you're fighting a bunch of creatures that cannot hit you, then obviously you'll be doing the extra damage. If you're fighting something big like a dragon, you're probably going to be
Sure.
wanting that half cover, right?
Do a
Especially
little
if,
bit of extra damage.
right, especially if you're in the range of like potential AOE's or whatever, right?
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. I like the idea that you can have half cover just by sort of standing there covered in bees.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, at 15th level, you can discorporate into your swarm, avoiding danger. When you take damage, you can use your reaction to give yourself resistance to that damage. You vanish into your swarm and then teleport to an unoccupied space that you can see within 30 feet of you, where you reappear with the swarm. And you can use that equal to your proficiency bonus, and you get them all back on a long rest.
Pretty good.
That's
really
a
good.
solid ability.
Yeah.
This is a
I
very
like it a
solid
lot.
ability.
Especially
Yeah.
because it's whenever you take damage, not an attack.
Yep.
So
It's damaged on attack. You
and
gain
you
resistance
likely prevent
damage.
a follow-up attack.
Right, and you can just like fuck off, right? This is the ultimate disengage tool, which
If you're still hovering, you might be able to teleport 30 feet upwards.
oh, you're right, yeah. If you have the hover speed, you can just go boop, and you're up now. So Actually, all in all, this
Pretty
class
good.
works like pretty solidly well together.
It does, but it is low impact. Like nothing it does is very impactful at all.
Yes, yeah.
Like
It just feels very
the,
solid.
the best thing this class can do besides keeping itself alive is do 1d8 damage or web someone. Like
Web or fairy
whoop-de
fire,
fucking
yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Like, you can keep yourself alive. You can happily stay in nice safety and snipe away with your bow and do that 1d8 damage or 1d6 damage. But you're not doing that much.
Listen, you're still attacking. You're still existing.
I feel like
Yeah,
this is like, I almost want to say that I think this is better than Hunter, but maybe not as good as Beastmaster.
Why do you think it's better than Hunter? Just real
Because it's ranged instead of melee.
Well, no, Hunter can do ranged with its volley.
I mean, that's also true.
At 11th level.
And Hordebreaker, I believe, still works with ranged.
Yeah, but the two enemies have to be within 5 feet. I guess if you have another
That's super common.
Yeah.
The Hunter does not have to be melee.
Oh, wait, you're right. Hordebreaker doesn't have to be melee at all.
Yeah. There's no detriment to that at all from melee, so.
Huh, that's funny. I always thought it was a melee ability. Anyway.
Nope.
I don't know. I just feel like the spell utility you get out of the expanded spell list is just really good.
The way I was looking at this is if you took out the spell list of Swarmkeeper, Hunter's better.
I agree, yeah.
If you add in these spells, like how good is it to get Mage Hand, Fairy Fire, and Web, and then thus get 2 more spell choices on your spells? Oh no, Hunter. Is that impactful?
Fairy Fire.
I don't know. I feel like the spells themselves are the kind of impactful part here, just because they're not on the range. It's like, yeah, like I agree. They're opening.
But are they that impactful though?
Fairy Fire is party-wide advantage. Web is party-wide advantage as well as immobilization.
What are the range on those?
Very good. 90. Isn't Fairy Fire like 90 feet, or is it tiny?
Fairy Fire is 60 feet.
That's pretty good.
And that's pretty tenable.
As long as it's not 30
Web is also 60 feet.
Yeah, those are pretty good. You could definitely still be like, at a safe distance and helping out your party a lot.
And as a result, the defensive utility of Ranger goes up a little bit because you can potentially.
Yeah, and then you can also be flying. I feel like all of the pieces of Swarmkeeper work together to me make a solid class.
Yeah, I just compare it to the DPS of Hunter, and Hunter's gonna out DPS the shit out of it.
Yeah, Hunter has really good DPS. I think that is true, but I also feel like the DPS of Hunter is like, it jumps up a lot at 11th level, which, we've acknowledged that 11th level kind of is like the sort of like.
It's true.
It's still a little bit late, because I feel like until 11th level, I think Swarmkeeper is like definitely better.
I think you might be right about that, which is crazy to say.
It's true.
Because you get extra attacks as Hunter, they're ranger attacks.
Yeah, they're ranger attacks, right? It's like you are making weapon attacks, and that is going to be as impactful as making more.
Hunter's definitely going to synergize a lot better with feats than this class.
Yeah.
So if you're going sweaty mode, adding in shit like sharpshooter / great weapon master pushes Hunter's DPS even further ahead.
I think that's true. If we're min-maxing with feats, but at the same time, rangers get how many feats can a ranger get at what are the levels that they get feats at?
I will say, just having hover so early is kind of insane.
Really strong, right?
It is worth so many more. It's worth so much more than the shitty extra hit points that Primeval Guardian gets. You're so much safer just being in the air than having 40 more hit points.
But you can't melee.
Right. So let's assume at 8th level, because rangers get ability score improvements at 4, 8, and 12. So you're probably going to have 2 or 3 feats if you're maxing. And as a hunter, you can obviously add all your sweat abilities there. But I feel like in general, I I think you're right that hunters are really strong with those feats. I feel like swarm keepers are like really strong in and of themselves, right?
I
They
would
don't need the
be
feat
convinced.
investment.
I could definitely see Swarmkeeper being A tier just because they are largely immune from danger, a lot of danger, which means
And
they
they
can
have
just
some
sit there and just hold concentration and pew pew pew.
right. They have like actual like this is the thing, right? Is that
They could do Conjure Animals on the Ranger spell list, and they're
oh
just
my
in the
god.
air. How are they going to lose concentration on their Conjure Animals?
Yeah. So you at 7th level can essentially escape most forms of danger because you can now fly,
Mhm.
and you actually have stuff to do while you're up there. You can cast Fairy Fire, you can cast Web, right? I feel like
You can you're a lot safer
normal-
casting stuff like Conjure Animals because you won't lose concentration.
normal Rangers, because they don't have access to spells like this, which I kind of bullshit. Kind of feels like fucking Rangers and Druids should get Web
Agreed.
in general. But anyway, enough about my Web hangups. I think it's A tier.
I think it's above average. I don't know if it's A tier.
I think I'm leaning towards A tier actually as well, like Josh, just because the safety, it's so safe.
Solely because of safety.
It's so hard for enemies to get to it.
It's
at
safe.
all.
It's safe, and you can do things while you're safe.
You get flight at 7th level.
Yeah, that's so early.
Beastmaster gets a beast at 3rd level, but it doesn't ever get flight.
Well, I mean, it
And
doesn't
it-
get fight, but the beast
companion.
can.
The beast can, but the beast isn't really the concentrating spell
The
one.
beast is
Now
safe.
Drake
That is-
Wardens at 15th level can fly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beastmaster doesn't really.
Beastmaster has
It's so
a lot of
front-loaded.
utility. Beastmaster has a lot of utility with its beasts. It has a lot more single target damage, and it just has a lot more damage, AoE or single target, than Swarmkeeper. It has utility in some ways. Its pet is going to be very safe if you choose the flying one, but it itself will be less safe.
Well, it feels
If you
like
want
maybe the
damage,
Rangers don't
Beastkeeper
benefit.
definitely beats Swarmkeeper, but Swarmkeeper beats Beastmaster in keeping itself safe and a bit of utility.
And a bit of
combat
utility. I would say that the lockdown spells like Entangle and Web tend to be pretty strong at lower levels.
If Web or like Fairy Fire become obsolete, Swarmkeeper is gonna feel pretty bad.
yeah,
That's
there is absolutely a point where you start to drop off in power.
yeah, and that's my only concern, which is very specifically that both of those are saving throw based. As you get more powerful, if your spell save DC does, you end up meeting creatures that are all pretty much always going to succeed, and then
But-
you just kind of wind up being a safe pew pew hunter. But that probably is still better, and we weight the early levels higher.
Yeah,
A
that doesn't
Beastmaster
really
can,
matter,
and the thing
does
is,
it?
Rangers are pretty safe already. Like if you're a Beastmaster, most likely your beast's up there doing fine. It doesn't need protection. And you're just back there in a longbow. You're like 120 feet away, if not longer, with sharpshooter. Like you don't really need flying to be safe on most Rangers.
It's true. It is nice though.
It is nice. Oh, it's 100% nice.
It is nice, and it gives you access to other things, right? It's
It-
not just like it's not just like
Beastmaster won't even be in range to cast a lot of these spells like Web because
Right,
it's
exactly.
safer to be further away. This one can hover pretty close to combat because they can't reach it.
Yeah, I'm mostly thinking about it in terms of hunter as well. Yeah, I can see that. I'm okay with A tier.
Yeah, but I'm okay with B tier as well. Just saying, because this one might fall off. Hunter gets stronger.
Hunter does come out ahead in the long run.
Hunter has the
I
big
would say.
DPS. This one has the utility something. I'd be perfectly happy putting it in B tier as well. I think.
Oh,
that's
no.
fair fit.
Shit, where do we put it then?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. Do we still think Hunter is B tier?
Yeah, I actually do.
Okay,
And in fact, I don't think anything we've seen is C tier.
Yeah.
Funnily enough,
I think
I-
so too. Yeah.
I was struggling with that in my head as well.
it hurts to have a little gap there, but there is like a noticeable power gap between Monster Slayer, Flaywater, and Hunter.
And Hunter, yeah.
Yeah.
Like they're
Okay.
not close to
Well,
each other.
let's I think my vote then is just to put it into B tier, just because it is really strong, but then it
falls
does
off.
fall off. Whereas Hunter is very consistent all the way through.
For sure. All right.
Cool.
Nice. What a balanced looking. It's pretty balanced. Yeah.
There's no C tier Hunters.
We made a C at the top.
I wonder if this has the strongest D and F tier ratio to higher tiers.
It's weird, but
Very even
maybe.
distribution, even though there's nothing in C tier.
That's true.
I think we did this list good justice.
This is the close. This is like unless we put something into C tier, this is like the closest you can really get to just like perfectly balanced.
Yeah. My great fear is that we have somehow overlooked a base hunter ability that greatly somehow synergizes with any of these.
God,
I
you're
doubt
probably
it.
right.
I doubt it.
It's not even worth considering. Don't worry about it. But there is technically that possibility because we're not very familiar with base hunter. But don't worry. I'm sure it's fine.
I'll look at it.
No, don't worry about it.
We're looking at it.
I largely assume the enemies we're fighting are not favored weapon enemies because, like, the first time you hit on a turn, you hit a favored enemy and deal damage to it, including when you mark it. Increase your damage by 1d4. Oh boy.
Yeah, just extra damage. That's fine. I mean, that's just a buff for base hunters, or not base hunter, base rangers. They just needed that to
1d4.
compete.
Oh boy.
I mean, 1d4, but like anything is better than nothing, right? For
it goes
a
up
class
to 1d6 at 6th level. It goes up to 1d8
Listen,
at 14th
anything is
level.
better than nothing for a class that doesn't get divine smites and doesn't get more than 2 attacks.
If you go by the optional rules, Nature's Veil, you can bonus action become
bonus
invisible.
action invisibility. That is pretty strong, actually.
Wait, where?
It's the 10th level optional feature for rangers.
That's kind of nuts.
Yes. Yeah.
How long is it invisible?
Only a turn, I believe, right?
I don't think that changes anything.
Until the
either.
start of your next turn, so it's only one turn.
Can you
but
attack
it does,
and it doesn't break?
I think so, yeah. Because it doesn't say anything about breaking on attacks.
Ooh.
And you can do it a number of times equal to your proficiency.
So it does.
Wait,
it does
what?
mean that at 10th level, basically
everyone gets to be Gloomstalker.
Yeah, I was say everybody gets to be Gloomstalker. Everybody's gonna be an elf with elven accuracy.
Whoa! That's
I regret bringing this up because now we have to go look at Hunter.
No, Hunter's fine. This doesn't do anything for Hunter. Okay, all right.
Actually,
it does make Hunter
no.
really good, actually.
It does make Hunter really good.
But at
because-
10th level, at 11th
well, we
level,
already knew. The thing is, it doesn't really change anything because Hunter already gets that nice power spike at 11. This is just it just hits synergizes with that power spike. But just imagine, Hunter with let's just say for the sake of fun, you do melee. 'Cause it's fun to make a melee work.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like you go great weapon fight. Oh no, but it actually works
elven
better with
accuracy.
ranged because you
It
can't
works
do
better with
elven
ranged,
accuracy with a great. Okay, so elven accuracy, sharpshooter, and then might as well throw in cross. No, you can't. It's bonus action. But anyway, bonus action vault, become visible, then volley everyone for a whole bunch of crits and sharpshooters, and they're all heavy attacks.
Oh,
yeah, that seems pretty good. If I were,
And you do that every turn.
If I were
for,
gonna
like, the
build
next-
at 11th level, I would probably build that.
you can do it a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus,
That's
which
plenty.
is dirty.
That is so many.
That's a lot of times.
Yeah, just one feature to make your
Yeah.
rangers viable.
Hang on, can you switch back to the Ranger all features again? Because that's a new thing that came in Tasha's, and it replaced the thing above it, hide in plain sight, which lets you spend 1 minute creating a camouflage for yourself, which gives you.
You must have access to fresh mud, dirt, plant suit.
Which gives you a bonus to stealth checks as long as you remain there without moving or taking actions. This is
So much better.
it's very funny to compare these two. Put it
It's
that
not
way.
even like
Oh,
they're not
God.
even on the same like scale of power.
Because one's like a
One
kind of
doesn't
ribbon.
exist.
One's like a it's not even a good ribbon though,
No, because you have to spend 1 minute doing it,
and then you can't move.
and then you can't move. What are you using this ability for?
I know that within the next 3 to 18 hours, someone will walk along this path. Time to become Bush.
Or you can just invisible and hide yourself.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I don't actually understand this ability at all.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
What happens if you have to pee?
And then if you actually want to do an ambush, suddenly you're visible like the instant you're attacking, and you don't get the bonus or something. No, maybe you will get the bonus on the first attack, but like,
Yeah, you might get
like
a surprise round,
round, yeah.
but only you.
and not the rest of your party. That is like, what the fuck are you doing in that mud? Get out of there, you dirty pig.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, but that 10th level feature makes Rangers just as a whole a lot stronger, and that's what they need. Like features that make Rangers, not subclasses,
Rangers
stronger.
generally, yeah, 100%.
That's good. I like that feature.
Yeah, it's nice because it also is like a power spike in a way that does not relate to how inferior a Ranger is at 11th level in terms of how many attacks they get.
I mean, it's great because like at 11th level, champion fighters get like another attack. Paladins get their improved Divine Smite, and 10th level Rangers get this, which is, I think, very comparable.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's for riding
All right.
Apex. Yeah, but if you had a minute to do it, like the problem with that is like if you need a minute
cast time in Apex.
Oh god.
The ring would show up by the time you're done.
And then you just like become invisible.
I mean, hold on. I think, well, no, I was going to say Dungeons & Dragons is like, maybe not quite as fast-paced as Apex, but the moment you get in combat it is. But this is not.
Yeah, I was going to say, like,
this is not
combat resolves itself in about, like, 24 seconds.
This is for, like, skulking, and, yeah, I don't. Man, it's just, yeah. It's quite something what they really printed in the original PHP. They figured that Rangers needed like a 10th level ribbon ability is kind of what it is.
Which is so funny.
It's pretty funny.
They're just like, all right, shit, we got all these ribbons left. What should we do? Wait, didn't we forget a class? Looks at Ranger. Oh, fuck.
All
right.
All right.
So, yep. I'm good with that.
All right.
We're like literally right on time. That's it. That's all the Rangers. What's next? Is it sorcerers?
Oh no.
Oh.
I bet it is.
Sorcerer. It looks like sorcerers.
All right. That's gonna take forever.
Which one is it?
Sorcerers. At least I think so.
Yeah, I think so too.
How many sorcerers are there?
Hey Dan, did you make a sorcerer subclass?
Yeah, I have it open. There's 17 sorcerer subclasses on this.
Okay, that's a lot.
That might be a two-parter.
It's actually not sorcerers. I'm wrong.
Oh, what is it?
What?
Rogues start with R.
Oh, rogues. That's gonna be fun.
That's also gonna take forever.
How many rogues?
I didn't open the thing.
Me neither.
I guess we'll never know.
Nope. All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks for coming. Oh boy.
Where's the stream? Stream.
Yeah. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for coming. I want to hold on. Let me see. Where's the rogues?
I think there's 11.
Rogues.
That's not that many. I thought they made more.
I thought there'd be more as well. Did you miss any? Dan.
No, I did not. I've never missed any.
Well,
Thank you.
No, actually, that's probably true, huh?
There was that one time where, like twice, we found out something that was renamed and when it was reprinted, but it was too similar to the original thing. You know?
Yep.
Let's see. Arcane Trickster, Assassin, Inquisitive, Mastermind, Phantom, Revived, Scout, Soul Knife, Swashbuckler, Thief, and Wildcard. Oh, I just remembered. Rogue subclasses kind of suck.
Yep. Looking forward to it.
Like, base rogue is pretty good, but rogue subclasses are all really underwhelming.
Soul Knife is pretty good.
Oh, God. Okay. All right. See you next time. Wait, are we doing next week? Are we on for next week?
Unknown. Probably until further notice. I don't think I'm. Oh God.
I got nothing going on.
We'll find out.
Yeah, I don't think I'm doing anything.
All right. We'll see you then. See you.
Bye-bye.